Monsters for my daughter, all by pressing the menu button.
Now that's getting the most out of your service. DirecTV. TV with benefits. DirecTV helps you make family-friendly viewing choices.
I use common sense media ratings, so I don't ever have to hear, Mommy, what does mean again? I just go to directtv.com.
Now that's getting the most out of your service. DirecTV. TV with benefits.
The following is a presentation of the National Hockey League.
The Chicago Blackhawks, road warriors of 7 straight wins, have jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the Western Conference Final.
Oh, a shot! Blocked up by Niemi. Oh, and what a remarkable stop in the pad!
Behind outstanding goaltending of Antti Niemi, timely scoring, the Hawks are heading home, looking to put a lock on the series.
On now it's Ladd. He scores! Andrew Ladd!
The Sharks won't go without a fight. They look to take a bite out of the Hawks' lead. It's the Sharks and the Hawks. Game 3 next on Versus. We welcome you to Chicago, Illinois. It's been 10 days since they've had a playoff game in this city. Their heroes are back at home. We have a Shark sighting. That's always good to see as we get set for game number 3 of the Western Conference Finals presented by Progressive Insurance inside the United Center, the Chicago Blackhawks and the San Jose Sharks. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Darren Elliott and with Carissa Thompson, I'm John Forsley. You get this deep. And Darren, it's all about your goaltender and your leaders. Let's take a look at both sides.
Yeah, sometimes you can overanalyze, and sometimes you just look at those two categories. And for the Chicago Blackhawks, it couldn't go much better. Jonathan Toews has been all around the action in terms of the offense, 11 straight games with a point, and Antti Niemi has been brilliant in goal on the road, steals game 1, necessary first period, brilliant in game 2. He's trying to bring that same form back home. Jonathan Toews, as we said, he's been everything you want in a captain. I don't care how old he is. He's scored pretty goals, and he's scored gritty goals. He has been the catalyst on the attack for the Chicago Blackhawks, and Antti Niemi, again, he has been positionally sound. He has battled hard. He has given his team a chance to win. You can't play better goal than Niemi has done for the Chicago Blackhawks. On the other side, in this series, it couldn't go much worse. Joe Thornton, -4, just one helper, and that's on a power play. Evgeny Nabokov in game 2, a necessary game. He gives up 4 on 22. That won't get it done on either front here in game 3.
Well, Darren, there are plenty of guys who need to step up for the Sharks. Joe Pavelski is one of those. Here he is with Carissa.
Thank you, John. Joe, your coach says all the time, he uses the expression, hit singles, not home runs. How do you keep things simple on the road when you're down 2 games?
Yeah, it's important. It's come together as a group, play every shift, and do all the little things that usually adds up to a victory if you can do them well.
You guys have only scored 6 goals in your last 4 games. Going up against a guy like Niemi, you've had success when you get high, but what else do you need to do to create quality scoring chances?
That's just the thing. Keep hitting the singles, simplify a little bit, more pucks to the net, and work a little harder to get those second opportunities and buy yourself a little more time there.
Thanks, Joe. John?
In these playoffs, home ice has not been kind to Chicago. Tonight, they need to fix that. For San Jose, desperation on the line in the Windy City. Stanley Cup playoffs, Hockey Central, next.
Welcome to Progressive. Nice calculator.
I'm just trying to save money on my car insurance.
You know, with Progressive, you get the option to name your price.
Is that even possible?
Absolutely. Trade?
And I still get great service?
More like super great. Oh, you have a message. Hello.
Calculator humor.
I'll be here all week. I will. That was my schedule.
The freedom to name your price. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car is now an official partner of the NHL. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Pizza Hut pizzas are just $10 each, so we could get all the kids at our son's sleepover their favorite.
Not sure why it's called a sleepover.
Yeah.
Any pizza at Pizza Hut is just $10. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings, only $10. Only at your Pizza Hut.
The playoffs are here. And at Versus.com, we want you to be a part of the action. Experience the NHL at Versus.com.
Want to transform your room? Get a Fathead. A Fathead is an enormous graphic that sticks to your wall. Life-size athletes, gigantic logos, and much more. Log on to fathead.com, where you'll find hundreds of images. And right now, when you buy any Fathead, we'll give you a second one for a half price. And that's not all. For a limited time, when you enter the code at the bottom of your screen, we'll ship your entire order for free. Go to fathead.com while this offer's still good and transform your room with Fathead.
Earn VIP savings on movies and events with DirecTV Text to Save Club. Text JOIN to 223322 and start saving big with offers like these.
Valentine's Day is about anger, disappointment, love,
romance, mating,
discretion,
Berkeley,
commitment.
I love hype.
She said yes!
Order Valentine's Day on your mobile phone before June 6th and get $4.99 cash back after mail-in rebate. Membership is free. Join today.
In the Octagon, there are 8 sides to every story. Speed, strength, veterans, phenoms, pride, punishment, defeat, victory. This August, the UFC returns live to Versus.
The Stanley Cup Conference Finals on Versus are presented by Progressive, making it easy to shop for car insurance.
And welcome, everybody, to the Progressive Insurance Stanley Cup pregame report. Bill Patrick, Keith Jones, Brian Engblom, and our special guest, Darren McCarty, here as we get you set for Game 3 of the Western Finals in Chicago. Darren, what is crucial for the Sharks tonight?
Oh, the only thing that's crucial is getting to Barkov. He's been outplayed by Antti Niemi in this whole series, and if San Jose is going to win this series at all, they got to win tonight, and he's got to be the catalyst.
The other thing that's pretty important for San Jose is Joe Pavelski's line has to pick it up offensively. With playoff success comes a lot of playoff attention, and right now Pavelski's line has been unable to start to produce offensively. They're going up against Jonathan Taves' line. Look for that matchup tonight. Pavelski needs a huge night.
Chicago lost Game 1 at home against Vancouver 5-1 because they played too fancy because Ben Eager wasn't in the lineup. They fixed that in Game 2. Since that time, Chicago is 6-1, and Ben Eager has 17 hits. Keep an eye on number 55 and keep an eye on the Chicago Blackhawks to follow his lead and make sure that they play physically and not that fancy game like they did in Game 1 against the Vancouver Canucks.
The San Jose Sharks need this win to avoid trailing 0-3. That means they need to play a strong game on the road. Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals next on Versus.
So what do you think?
We need his experience.
Yeah, but he has more energy.
Now you can get the best of both. Try Touch of Gray. Combs away a little gray without getting rid of it all.
I've got big plans for you.
Touch of Gray.
Mr. Cobb has a job offer he would like to discuss with you.
Like a work placement?
Not exactly. There's one thing you should know about me. I can access your mind through your dreams. It's called Inception.
Inception. Rated PG-13. In theaters and IMAX July 16th.
I went into one of those dollar stores the other day to buy a pencil, and guess how much it cost? $2. Not no math whiz, but it seems to me the money doesn't go as far as it used to. With Denny's new 2, 4, 6, 8 value menu, you can get 16 different meals for $2, $4, $6, and $8 any time of day.
Today's the day you went from dude to dad. And you want everyone you know to see. So here's your moment of truth. Which 3G network would you trust to upload your very first shots to PhotoBucket?
Hey, look.
When you want your 3G network to work,
What's your email?
you want Verizon. Right now, you can get great deals on 3G and messaging phones like the Samsung Reality for $49.99, plus add a line for just $9.99, only at Verizon.
When was the last time you went the scenic route? Or went out for a night off the town? Would you like to take a road trip to a place with no roads? Then you belong at Bass Pro Shops. Our National Go Outdoors event is going on now with great deals on great gear for camping, hiking, paddle sports, and more, including the new Ascend A10 kayak for under $300, plus free family activities and crafts this weekend. Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
This weekend, I will not turn my backyard into a botanical wonderland.
I will simply feed the lawn.
I will just repaint the living room.
I will not start out fixing the shower.
And end up renovating the entire bathroom.
I will go to Ace.
So I can knock it out fast.
And then I will read comic books.
The folks at Ace help you find what you need so you can get in, get help, and get on with your life. Right now, get a canopy chair for just $19.99 at Ace, the helpful place.
Game 3, Sharks and Blackhawks coming up in just a few moments in Chicago. We send it to John Forsland, Darren Elliott, and Carissa Thompson.
Thanks very much, Bill. We're buckled down and we're ready. Inside the Ruckus United Center, 22,000 plus. Game number 3, Western Conference Finals, Chicago with that lead. Evgeny Nabokov has to be much better tonight. As Darren McCarty pointed out, he needs to be the catalyst for the Sharks. Antti Niemi in his last 3 games has looked at 102 shots and has stopped 98 of those. Enjoy the beauty of this game as they all are in high definition. No lineup changes for either side, but a line change for the Sharks to get it started.
Well, it's the old road trick, though. What they've done, Tom McLeod's taken one player off the top 3 lines and started them together. And Joel Quenneville said he won't care who's playing alongside Joe Thornton. He will go with the matchup, David Bolland against Thornton, straight up.
Again, this game, the brilliance of high definition on Versus. Enjoy game number 3 from Chicago. Rob Blake, their captain, paired on defense with Marc-Edouard Vlasic. And we have a nice puck touched up by Chicago Progressive Insurance as our game keys tonight, Darren.
Well, absolutely. The things we talked about, Nabokov, masked men, he has to be better. San Jose, the focus on finishing at the other end. And Chicago, is there going to be energy because of the building, or are they going to feel the weight of expectations after being on the road for 10 straight days?
That's been the case in the playoffs as Duncan Keith's shot goes wide. Chicago 500 at home. Setaguchi floored by Brent Seabrook, and Thornton's shot is turned aside by Niemi. Joe Thornton in the corner for Devin Setaguchi. Back to the point. Vlasic calmly with a shot wide of Antti Niemi. Loose along the wall, chopped at and cleared out by Chicago's Dustin Byfuglien. Patrick Kane broken up by Devin Setaguchi, who floats it back out to center ice for Logan Couture. Dustin Byfuglien, what a series he had in the previous one against Vancouver, and he's picked that up in this one.
Impact player, nice personnel move, putting him on the top line with Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews, but there's some history there. As a trio, they've been pretty good, even in the regular season against the San Jose Sharks.
Andrew Ladd started the scoring in game 2. Chris Versteeg on the flank, holding onto it. Moving away from Dan Boyle, they cycle. David Bolland with a shot. Great save, Nabokov, and it's kicked wide by Bolland.
He's going to the box for goaltender interference after that great bid. A seam route by Bolland and a huge save by Nabokov. There's the seam play, there's the save, and there's the follow through. It's not much of a goaltender interference. It's a heck of a save with the right pad. Alexis Goldkamp shows you Nabokov to his right, Bolland to his left. Doesn't really bowl him over, but enough to draw a penalty. Nabokov standing tall in the early going.
Bill McCreary, Dan O'Rourke officiating this game tonight. Dave Bolland, you see it. Interference at $1.16. San Jose's 2 for 6 in the series on their power play. Dan Boyle, Joe Pavelski at the points. Boyle faking a one-timer, holding onto it. He's been a real leader in the off days, leading up to this one. Boyle moving it off now. Thornton, Marlowe, one-timer, wide of Niemi. Hammered by Pavelski off the pad of Niemi. Danny Heatley, a couple of cracks at it. He has control. He'll center one. And you see it come all the way back out to neutral ice.
That's a good break for Chicago because Chalmers has broken his hockey stick.
Patrick Marlowe with a shot. Cut off by Niemi and brought in. Joe Pavelski out in front. As he wills the puck in, they said it would be a race to score first tonight. And San Jose has won that one.
They sprinted to that mark. Well-executed power play. The boos you hear, not just for the goal, still a smattering because they didn't like the fact that San Jose was on the power play. But that's one of the rare instances that we've seen in this series, the San Jose Sharks out-muscling the Chicago Blackhawks at the paint at either end. And Joe Pavelski, gets back on the board after a long drought.
His first goal in 6 playoff games, 9 goals before that.
Joel Quenneville is saying, you know what? I want an explanation. Referee came over and gave it to him. Was it kicked in? He's just trying to sort it out, slow it down. Why was that penalty called at the other end? Joe Pavelski doesn't care. He's on the board. He talked to Carissa. Magic charm again. Carissa Thompson with the interview. Joe Pavelski kicks it up and then knocks it in. That's what they were looking at. That's what they're reviewing. It looked as if to me, did he get it?
You think it was skate to stick?
It looked like that. That's what they're checking on.
Yeah. Well, we might have a review.
They're reviewing it right now.
Yep.
It's being reviewed. The one look looked as if it was skate to stick. That last one, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure. Here it is.
This will be a great look.
There's the skate move.
He's got to touch it with that stick. He didn't.
He did.
At the line.
At the line.
Okay.
At the line before it crossed. He missed it on the first one. Great job by our crew, right? Oh, I don't know. That's another one. It looks like maybe it got blocked out. Now you can see what they're dealing with in Toronto. They have to take every single look.
Right, and the call on the ice is goal.
Yes.
Okay, so the evidence has to be conclusive to turn it over. Todd McClellan doing a great job with this team.
But I'm the perfect example. I've seen 4 looks and called it 4 different ways. And that's what the league contends with. There's the boot. And did the stick make contact with that puck as it was sliding and gliding towards the red line?
Wow. I'm not sure. I don't think he did.
I don't think he did right there.
Back it up again.
I don't think he did.
All right, here's Bill McCreary with the call. There it is.
Great job by our guys.
So the race to score first, and that young man, well, he's got, nice attitude. That's good to see. Surrounded by Hawk fandom. And now McCreary, the veteran official, with the explanation for Todd McClellan. But the race to score first will start over now.
And it is all important. That first goal, Pavelski, everything we said leading up to that goal, take it off the books.
Gives us a chance to take a look at the Gander Mountain special teams numbers. The power play will continue for San Jose. Blackhawks penalty killing the best right now of the teams left. They've been outstanding, both overall and at home. Brent Sopel paired on defense with Nicholas Chalmerson, and now it's played and swatted at by the Hawk captain, Jonathan Toews. He'll clear it all the way down to Nabokov.
So, John, if you want a mental gut check, how about being down in the series 2-0, thinking you scored the first goal on the first power play 2 minutes into the hockey game and have it taken off the board? Yep. That is going to be a test of mental fortitude to these San Jose Sharks.
To show off their character, Pavelski. Thinking about it, top of the umbrella, Boyle, Pavelski this way, Thornton out in the slot, negated by Seabrook. Thornton now holding on to it. Dan Boyle, along the wall, Joe Thornton. Inside it goes, dealt back to the point that time by Danny Heatley. It's hammered by Pavelski, and Niemi got a piece of it. Pavelski now holding on to it. Marlowe got a piece of it. Knocked down, carried by Thornton, broken up. John Madden getting back in defensive position for Chicago. Here's Pavelski. This way for Boyle. Now Pavelski, Thornton holding, going high over the top of Antti Niemi. Out of the corner, a good job here. Troy Brouwer off the backside of John Madden out to center ice. And the Sharks down, will settle down. Even terms on the ice, Bolin comes back. Chicago has killed it off.
Who knows, that waved off goal might serve as a wake-up call for them too. Joel Quenneville, their head coach, man, say, hey guys, let's wake up. It could be 1-0 really easily.
Nicholas Pauline through center ice, cut off by Patrick Kane. Pauline gets it back. Bouncing puck for Devin Setaguchi. He'll go deep. Ryan Clough, upended that time by Brian Campbell. Along the wall, Kane. Nice pass for Chalmerson, and away they go. Hossa has a step on Vlasic. Marian Hossa stopped by Nabokov. Curling with it is Kane. Hitting Chalmerson, holding, shooting one. Swallowed by by Evgeny Nabokov.
Fabulous start by that man. Our keys to the game is the battle of the masked men, but there is no margin for error for Nabokov. He was brilliant, as was Niemi in Game 1. In Game 2, he gave up a very stoppable goal to start the game to Andrew Ladd. Look where he is in traffic this time. Good lane to see it. Good box out by the defense, but he was way outside the paint, much more aggressive than he was. He found himself pinned inside the blue paint many, many times in Game 2.
And Darren, it's up to him, right? He's got to fight for that.
He has to earn that right, and he has to be there first. And he didn't do that in Game 2.
Niemi has been able to do that for Chicago. Jamie McGinn going down hard on Ben Eager. Patrick Sharp for Chicago, back to the point. Duncan Keith with a shot negated and blocked by Scott Nickel, who clears it out to center ice. Keith paired on defense with Brent Seabrook. Ben Eager, you heard Brian Engblom talk about his 17 hits since he has been inserted on the fourth line for Joel Quenneville. Torrey Mitchell, thwarted a bit by Dustin Bufflin. Danny Heatley takes a hit from Andrew Ladd. The Hawks now will send it all the way back in the San Jose zone. Icing is called. We'll bring it back.
Good look at San Jose Sharks bench boss Todd McClellan. Nice catching up with him this morning. It was very, very easy going, very confident, forthright. He talked about Joe Thornton in particular. He said it's after he makes the pass, it's his next two strides that make the play. And we talk about that with Joe all the time. We talk about it with a lot of our players, but he can't stand still.
Brolin from the point. A second chance for the big Swede. Move it off now, and turning with it, Danny Heatley diagonally across, intended for Ken Huskins. And a Stanley Cup with Anaheim in 07. Chalmerson almost turned it over to Pavelski. It deflects off his stick and goes out of play.
Good look at Joel Quenneville, already mentioned him. He'll chase the matchup. The matchup is David Boland on Joe Thornton, no matter who Joe Thornton is out there with. That's what he said today. He said he won't really worry about the wingers. He'll go center on center. But part of the charm for Quenneville with his team, he's comfortable with all three of his top lines against Joe Thornton. It's not like he just has to have a shutdown line to be successful.
Well, he has some complete players really on every line. Guys who are good in all three zones. That's the balance of the Hawks and a key to their success so far. Jonathan Toews, that 11-game point streak, delayed penalty against San Jose. Niemi long gone. 6 skaters out for Joel Quenneville. Patrick Sharp is that guy, and it's fought off by Nabokov. Barely.
Fought off, and the Velcro pads. His head went up, went down, stayed between the pads.
We'll take a look at tonight's Pizza Hut favorite matchup.
Joe Thornton, David Boland, we've been doing a lot of talking about it. -4 rating. Boland's even been able to have his line get involved in the scoring. So that's never going to work out well for the Sharks if that continues. Ryan Clough is in the box. Power plays to power play.
Roughing penalty on Ryan Clough. Chicago goes to work with their power play. They've only had 4 chances in this series. 1 for 4 with their power play. They did not have a power play in the first game.
That's why I mentioned it. Already one each way. A little bit different than we've seen.
Gander Mountain. Special teams numbers. Chicago's power play. San Jose on the kill. San Jose on the road in the playoffs. They've struggled. The penalty killing only at 75% efficiency as it's cleared in. It's next to last of the 16 teams that qualified for the postseason. Duncan Keith holding on to it. Away from Torrey Mitchell. Here's Patrick Kane turning. Getting room. Shooting one. Blocked in front. Cleared out here by Marc-Edouard Vlasic. He has room to skate. Vlasic over the line. Pavelski the trailer. Blocked by Duncan Keith. Transition time for Chicago. Kane's in the zone on his off wing. Beautiful pass for Keith. Blocked in front. Dan Boyle going down. Now Brian Campbell at the point. Campbell holds onto it. Moved off for Kane. In the slot, turning his Taves off the body. Off Brouwer out in front. Torrey Mitchell tries to clear. A good steal by Jonathan Taves. Taves along the wall. Vlasic now will clear it all the way down to Niemi.
The takeaway by Taves along the boards, an example of the kind of player he is. It's not just about points. It's about persistence as well.
See the time left on this Hawk power play. Their first. Nabokov for Douglas Murray, who takes a hit. Two Hawks run at him. Chris Versteeg and Troy Brouwer. Out they come. Boyle. Lead pass for Heatley. Danny Heatley from the corner. Negated. Knocked down by Seabrook. Seabrook now likes to play it rugged. Tries to clear along the wall. Hosa's there. Tied up by Thornton. Away goes Chicago. You're looking at Chris Versteeg. He'll pull up. Get it deep. Brouwer attempts to hunt it down. You see it. Thornton back defensively. Turns it over. Seabrook at the point with a shot. Hung on to by Nabokov. This is Game 3. Western Conference Finals.
Hey, Uncle Bob.
Hey. Oh, Bud Light. Here we go.
This is a hospital. You're sick.
This party's gonna be sick. Whoop. What's up, guys? Room 324. Refill this with ice. Clear. You'll need this, trust me. Bud Light and 324. We gotta ice these down!
It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Nurse costumes, I like it.
Papa's in the house.
Now create your own specialty pizza or choose any of our signature specialty pizzas. Just $10. Your recipe and our ingredients could win you pizza for life. Go to papajohns.com for details.
Everybody clear.
This won't be human, not entirely.
Slice. Rated R. June 4th.
Black one. Where? Black one. Where?
Black one. Ow, where?
The Volkswagen Tiguan. The only compact SUV with a turbocharged engine standard.
Black one. Where?
There. Lease the 2010 Tiguan for just $269 a month. It's a whole new Volkswagen and a whole new game.
NHL Stanley Cup Conference Finals on Versus, presented by Progressive Insurance. John Forsland, Darren Elliott, Carissa Thompson back with you. We're at the United Center. Grant Sopel's shot stopped by Nabokov. He spits out a rebound. The Sharks are after it. Ryan Clough out to center ice. Jordan Hendry. Thwarted a bit that time by Manny Malhotra. A loose puck. Broken up. A good recovery by young Hendry. Been used sparingly in the playoffs, and now Adam Burrish. The fourth line is out for Chicago. Madden, Eager, and Burrish. Now it's cleared ahead through center ice. Danny Heatley for San Jose. Dishes off for Joe Pavelski. Kent Huskins will golf it ahead. Cut off by Sopel. Right on the tape of David Bolin. And Bolin now will scale it in.
Sharp. The Blackhawks are very sharp with their early passing in this hockey game.
Back to the point, Duncan Keith. Awaiting that pass, Dave Bolin. Good job by Pavelski on him. Huskins now. Clear it out to the center zone. Duncan Keith ambles across. This guy's averaged over 27 minutes a game in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Duncan Keith. He and Seabrook have been the top defensive tandem, really, when you look around.
Seabrook has laid the lumber already a couple times. 2 big hits in this hockey game. And Duncan Keith, a Norris candidate, should win it. If I had a vote, which I don't.
Kane now holding his shot. He should. It's blocked by Rob Blake. Now Taves out in front. Devin Setaguchi getting help from Logan Couture.
Well, what Keith has done so well, he heads the puck up ice. That first pass out of the zone, the neutral zone regroup. Even in this game, you watch these plays. Look at how much time Chicago has.
Yeah.
The puck on their sticks. They're moving and swirling and diving and darting. And guess what? That means San Jose is chasing.
They were so good in the previous series, shutting down Henrik Sedin and brother Daniel on the top line for Vancouver. Out of the corner now. Douglas Murray up the wall. Good pass for Devin Setaguchi. Out to center ice. Logan Couture with Scott Nickel. The Sharks now quick change. They get it deep.
They have to, though, but they were stood up at the blue line. To me, game 2 turned for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Patrick Sharp with a shot, Darren. That's fumbled a bit by Nabokov. He'll hang on.
They're playing the neutral zone. They're through the neutral zone. in the nanosecond, and they're in on Nabokov. Whereas San Jose, it looks like it's plodding, going the other way between the blue lines. That's a long-range wrister. He finds it. You don't want to have a leaky Nabokov. That's never good, especially if you're down 2-0 in a series. He finds it, though, tracking it very well in the early going.
Had one of his best games of the regular season in this building on December 22nd, the only time San Jose beat Chicago in the regular season. He had 45 saves in that game, a 3-2 win by the Sharks. Now, out of the pile, Troy Brouwer. Ahead for Patrick Sharp. Manny Malhotra now deep in his own zone. John Forsland, Darren Elliott, Carissa Thompson, along with our fine crew here at the United Center. This is Game 3 Western Conference Finals, presented by Progressive Insurance. Patrick Marleau circles the wagons, denied by Nieme. He gets it back. Through traffic, it's blocked out in front. You see it from ice levels. Troy Brouwer tries to clear. Sharp will. Hossa bumped by Douglas Murray. You see the puck come all the way back in the San Jose zone.
And this has been exactly what Todd McLellan said he would do. He didn't tip his hand in warm-up. He said our top 9 guys are versus their top 9 guys. I mean, the fourth lines will go head-to-head. But he was willing to mix and match, and he certainly has done that here in the early going in terms of his top 9 forward personnel.
A chance for Bolin. His bid, the angle cut down by Nabokov. In the corner, Chris Versteeg. Rookie of the Year candidate a season ago. Out to center ice now. Jason Demers. At his first playoff goal in Game 1, he tips it in on Nieme. You might want to try Nieme low in this game tonight. They talked a bit about that this morning. Now along the boards, Torrey Mitchell. Inside it goes for Demers. Jason Demers watching Joe Thornton now send it back for Torrey Mitchell. Little net presence out in front. Patrick Marleau.
Because of the cycle. They've established the cycle. That's what Todd McLellan said the big adjustment would be. Never mind the personnel. It's what the personnel does in the offensive zone. That allowed them to get that net presence established early and anchored.
8:22 left to go in this first period. Shots even, 8 apiece. Kane cuts it off. Taves now moving it back for Duncan Keith. He's paired on defense this time with Brian Campbell with a spin move and a beauty on Pavelski. Now Keith. Gain center, clear it deep. Rob Blake, the 40-year-old veteran, back to get it. Blake now from the corner. Fanning on a pass, stays with it, hampered a bit by Kane. A loose puck. Jumps out to center ice. Campbell gets there ahead of Pavelski. Now Vlasic along the wall. Pavelski moving in. Jamie McGinn. His shot caught off by Nieme, high in the air, off the side of the goal. Back of the goal now. McGinn to the corner. Bufflin reverses the flow. Taves at the top of your screen. Back out to center ice.
Wants a line change. Nice chess match going on between the coaches. San Jose's done a better job the last 2 shifts getting through the neutral zone and getting things set up in the offensive zone.
Neutral ice now. Vlasic with Boyle. Mitchell, Nickel, Logan Couture. That's the forward line for Todd McLellan. Dan Boyle hinges across. A pass back from Kent Huskins. Good center zone play by Madden. Here they come. John Madden with a shot blocked on the way through by Boyle. Loose out in front. Oh, in the nick of time, Torrey Mitchell gets back for San Jose.
That's a great break, but all that talk in the neutral zone.
Here's a chance. Nickel chips it high. Set up beautifully by Logan Couture.
You get stopped in one play, and Chicago goes in. You come through it cleanly the other way, and you get a bid on goal.
Patrick Sharp denied by Nicholas Pauline. They go to the corner. Sharp deals it in back of the San Jose goal. They grind a cycle. Marian Hossa now. Looking for Brouwer. Denied here and cleared out by Ryan Clough. Now Holtra going after it. Fanned down a bit by Nieme. He stumbles, but he gets back. Marian Hossa at a +7. Co-leader with Brian Campbell in that department for Chicago as it's tipped. Goes in the screen, and we get a stoppage. 6:15 left to go in the opening period. We've had a few close calls tonight from Chicago.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
How do we inspire greatness?
From Clint Eastwood comes the most inspiring movie of the year. Now you want to rent Invictus, but you won't find it in your mailbox yet.
Times change, and we need to change as well.
And you won't find it in that vending machine yet.
Who is with me? Yes! This is our destiny!
Don't worry. It's in the palm of your hand. Invictus.
Movies playing on channels 125 through 199.
There's only one rule you need to know about. The only thing you can count on at any given moment is you. It's you versus them. You versus no. It's you versus second place. Clock is ticking. Let's see what you got.
Welcome back to Chicago. We are scoreless in the first, Todd. You guys started the game exactly how you wanted to, but the goal was waved off. There seems to be an elevated level of aggressiveness. Are you happy with the pace?
I am, especially the way we responded to the disallowed goal. Obviously, when they scored the first goal in Game 2, we didn't respond well. Here, it didn't go our way, but we've got our legs underneath us. We'll see what we can do from here on.
You know they like to play that track meet style. They're so efficient through the neutral zone. How do you slow them down?
Well, we've got to have the puck a little better in the face-off circle, a little better spotting it on the forecheck. We can slow them down that way.
Thanks, Todd. Okay.
Good stuff, Carissa, because those are the things that from up here we've been noticing, and I do like the way they responded after the potential disappointment. We talked about it at the time, John. You're down 2-0. You think you've got the start you wanted and a one-goal lead, and you don't. It's like, all right, where are the hockey gods? Are they on our side or not? Well, they are if you play the way they've been playing the last several minutes.
Yeah, because they kind of leveled off in Game 2 after Ladd scored that goal, and that they didn't survive that sequence of time.
No, and it went 3-0. They did not do a very good job at all.
Antti Niemi now in the trapezoid will put it on a tee. No score, game number 3. 18 shots have been taken so far, 9 on each side. A good look at Douglas Murray. On the boards, Joe Thornton, Danny Heatley. Line combinations, the puck comes all the way back. Devin Setaguchi is on this line now for Todd McClellan with Thornton and Heatley. Out to center ice, Seabrook. He'll get it deep.
That's unbelievable. I mean, Chicago putting pressure right at their offensive blue line. And San Jose, don't the old saying, check to a standstill? That's happened every other shift.
They try to walk through it, and that's not going to work.
No, you've got to put pucks deep. When they do that, they set the cycle up 2 different times. But you cannot carry it into the zone the way Chicago's defending.
The center zone, neutral zone, so important in playoff hockey, and Chicago has dominated that area of the ice in the series.
Yep, the Sharks to the outside. They've controlled the middle of the ice. Going from boards to boards between the blue lines. And as well, they've kept mostly the Sharks to outside the dots on the attack entering the zone, like right here.
Torrey Mitchell. Nick Pauline with a shot blocked by Patrick Sharp. Sharp now out to center ice. Marian Hossa. Pestered a bit by Ken Huskins. Logan Couture negotiates by Sopel, turns, drops it off for Jamie McKinn. McKinn now in the corner, run into by Sharp. Sopel says hello to Jamie McKinn. It's loose this way, and now they get to it. Duncan Keith now through center ice. Pavelski. Joe Thornton had it, lost it. Marc-Edouard Vlasic by McKinn. Played again here by Duncan Keith. Moving up on Demers, easily caught by Nabokov. 3:48 left to go in period number 1. We are scoreless in Chicago.
Exceptional taste, that's pure Amsterdam. Amstel Light, one damn good beer.
Hi. The $2 meal deal. Is that really 3 items for $2? Sure is. So I buy a beefy 5-layer burrito and drink, and you throw in the chips for free?
No, you pay for the burrito and chips, and you get the drink for free.
Actually, the drink and the chips are $2, and the burrito is free.
Tell you what, just give me $2 and it's all free.
3 items, $2. Now that's a deal.
Let's do it.
Taco Bell's $2 meal deal. 4 different meals to choose from, each with a Taco Bell original Doritos chips and a medium soda. It's 3 for $2 and only at Taco Bell.
Come on, back it up. It's the 3rd time this month. What happened this time?
Number 1, ice is slippery. Number 2, this thing wasn't calibrated before I drove it.
Yeah, same dasher board, same excuse.
Ask Mike Green. He was on the ice the whole time. Tell him, Mike.
Guys, he drove straight into it, and I'm pretty sure he yelled bullseye.
He's just kidding. We need a second opinion.
Introducing new Pennzoil Ultra, a revolutionary synthetic oil that takes clean where it's never been before. Nothing keeps your engine closer to factory clean.
I'm Bill Patrick. Ahead on the Pizza Hut Intermission Report, Keith Jones, Brian Engblom, and Darren McCarty join me once again. Evgeny Nabokov has been sharp early. We'll have more on him, plus a closer look at the immovable object in front of the net. That would be Dustin Byfuglien. And that's ahead. John?
He is that. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he hasn't been that noticeable yet in this hockey game. Let's see if he is on this shift. He's out there now with Taves and Kane.
And again, Todd McClellan is juggling his lines. Yeah. Pavelski, Nickel, and Thornton out there now. Deep on defense with the guy who has the puck, Brent Seabrook. Dustin Byfuglien. Getting it off a body. Recaptured by Keith, wide of Nabokov. Getting to it is Rob Blake. Out to center ice. Jamie McKinn drops it back, gets it from Joe Thornton. Again, puck position is important. They get it deep.
That's what they have to do more of. Problem is McKinn lost his hockey stick though when he was on the forecheck.
Yeah, you got to have that. Could be an essential.
It is.
Yeah. You can figure that out. Boyle now to center. Full flight. Patrick Marleau cutting. Getting room. Shooting one wide of Niemi. Tried to get Antti Niemi moving. Now Andrew Ladd is away with Hossa. Too far ahead of Marian Hossa, and Ladd was knocked down. Now Marleau. Ryan Clough by him out to center ice. Chicago's changing.
Ooh, they had too many men, I thought.
And we'll see. Play was whistled dead, but I don't believe we're making the call.
No, well, they're pointing towards the bench, but you can point towards it. We've talked a lot about it. Watch them in the neutral zone. Nowhere to go, and it leads to a chance offensively. And this is no way to break it. Danny Heatley has to put that puck deep so his teammates know that they can go and track it. Because what he does that, he kind of canoodles up to the blue line. They have no speed to go after it. Even if he does dump it, he has to make that decision a lot earlier.
So we'll track that as this game progresses. An important key for San Jose to climb back in this series, down 2 games. Chicago out in front, pass intercepted by San Jose's Joe Pavelski. Gathered in by Nick Chalmerson. He gave it back to Pavelski, and Pavelski now will go deep. A disallowed goal early in this hockey game. Pavelski thought he had one. About 2 minutes into this first period, after a long video review, it was deemed that the puck was kicked in by San Jose's number 8.
And it was. Pavelski just did not, after he made that kicking motion on the puck, didn't make contact with his hockey stick. And that's why it was rightfully taken off the big board.
Joe Thornton, Patrick Marleau, Torrey Mitchell now for San Jose. Brouwer going after it for Chicago. Mitchell out to center. Marleau has good speed, but closing the gap, Brent Seabrook. Marleau from the boards inside for a turning Torrey Mitchell. Mitchell holding onto it now. They attempt to wheel a cycle. He's negated by Troy Brouwer. Duncan Keith's pass out to center ice, finding Hossa. Moving on Douglas Murray. Marian Hossa with that great strength. Holding onto it. Out in front. Paddle down. Nabokov. Rebound chance sent wide. Brouwer out in front, along with Sharp. And now Murray. On the wing, Marleau. Room for Danny Boyle. Boyle over the line. Crisscrossing with Thornton. His shot blocked by Seabrook. Logan Couture with a shot fought off the blocker of Niemi. Eager. Adam Burish. Moving up on Vlasic. Getting back was Dan Boyle. Burish now shouldered hard, that time by Ryan Clough. Van Eager centers one. Oh, a good stick check that time on John Madden. As San Jose have a fine defensive play from Logan Couture. Couture along the wall. Pestered by Madden. Eager away from Vlasic. Malhotra sends it all the way back.
Couture's elimination of the stick was another thing Todd McClellan said they had to do a better job of. And that was a great example of it.
And a young player getting it done. 27 seconds left to go. Period 1, game 3. Chicago leads the best of 7, 2 games to none. Chicago has won 7 straight on the road. They are 3-3 here at United Center. Versteeg. Dave Bolin bumped a bit by Blake. They go hard to the corner. Versteeg shaking off Seneguchi. Out in front, taken care of by Nabokov. Floated out by Rob Blake, looking for Pavelski. Bolin transitions again. Here's Versteeg at the horn. That'll do it. 12 shots, Chicago. 10 shots, San Jose. Scoreless we are. Nabokov, sharp. Early in this hockey game, game number 3. Stay with us. Pizza Hut, Stanley Cup Intermission Report. Bill Patrick, Keith Jones, Brian Engblom, and Darren McCarty in the studio tonight. We get you to Hockey Central right after this on Versus.
Hut pizzas are just $10 each, so we could get all the kids at our son's sleepover their favorite.
Not sure why it's called a sleepover.
Yeah.
Any pizza at Pizza Hut is just $10. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings, only $10. Only at your Pizza Hut.
Yeah, some guys have never even had a mic, so beer is all they ever drink?
Yeah. It's like being with the same woman your whole life.
Getting married this weekend.
That one's on him.
Don't forget the mics. Lemonade for grown-ups.
This weekend, I will not recreate the Sistine Chapel on my bathroom ceiling.
I will simply repaint it.
And I will repaint the trim.
I will not spend more time waiting to get help
than it takes to paint a room.
I will go to Ace
and get what I need. I will be finished. Then, I will watch the Kung Fu movie marathon.
The folks at Ace help you find what you need so you can get in, get help, and get on with your life. Right now, get a $5 mail-in rebate off Royal Paint. At Ace, the helpful place.
You're coming towards turn 1 at over 230 miles an hour.
We're going so fast that turn 2 is already finishing.
And as you exit that corner, there's a real big bump there.
Down to the white line on the apex, close to the wall on the exit.
Hopefully, you come out on the other side to finish the rest of the lap.
If you need cash fast, here's important news. Cash for Gold has declared an end to your personal recession by giving you $50 bonus cash for all your broken, mismatched, or unwanted gold jewelry.
Everyone knows that economic times are tough, but you could be sitting on cash reserves right in your own home. If you act right now, you'll be qualified for a $50 cash bonus during Cash for Gold's nationwide personal incentive plan.
Call for a free prepaid envelope. Fill it with your unwanted items. Mail it to Cash for Gold Secure Processing Center and get your $50 bonus.
As the world's largest buyer of consumer gold, Cash for Gold owns their own refinery. So there's no middleman, and that means more cash direct to you.
Don't wait. Let Cash for Gold help you declare an end to your personal recession right now and give you an additional $50 cash bonus.
Call 1-800-252-2049 now or go to cash4gold.com for the $50 bonus offer and the exclusive 12-day satisfaction return guarantee.
This is the Pizza Hut Stanley Cup Intermission Report on Versus, delivered to you by Pizza Hut. Get any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings for one low price.
And welcome back. A scoreless first period in Chicago in Game 3. Danny Heatley, 39 goals in the regular season, just 2 goals in the playoffs. No goals, just 1 assist in this series. He knows he's got to get it going, and he is with Carissa.
Thank you, Bill. Well, in most cases, Danny, after that goal was waved off, some people would, sit back a little bit. What was your response?
Well, all season long and all playoffs, you just got to keep going whatever the situation. And we felt it was a goal, but you got to move on and keep going.
You guys are at your best when you get that speed through the neutral zone and get pucks deep. How do you do more of the same?
Just make great decisions. Don't try and do too much. Have support for the guy with the puck and get pucks behind, and that's when we're effective.
Especially on the road, how important it is that first period to keep them off the board. Are you happy so far with the performance?
Yeah, I thought we generated some chances. Could have had a couple, and Navi's made some big saves on the other end.
Appreciate the time. Thank you. Guys.
All right, Carissa, thank you, and welcome everybody to the Pizza Hut Stanley Cup Intermission Report. Bill Patrick, Keith Jones, Brian Engblom, Darren McCarty here. Darren, you said before the game began that Evgeny Nabokov was the real key if San Jose is going to get back into this. Do you like what you saw from him in the first?
I definitely do, and this is why when he's at his best and San Jose has an opportunity to get back in this series is because of him. Watch him earlier in Game 1 of the series. He's moving around. He doesn't find his position. He thinks he gets bumped there, but he wasn't set. Tonight, he's doing good. A goalie's ready to play, and they're fighting through the traffic, challenging out, not giving out rebounds. Chicago had a lot of numerous chances there, but he's been there to answer the bell, answer the test, give them a chance to win this game. And so far, even though they had that goal disallowed, he's been sharp, and from playing against him long enough, I know when he's on, and I can tell, and he's on tonight, so it's up to those guys to score goals.
And San Jose's got their hands full with the Chicago Blacks defensemen, because early on in this series, Chicago defense came up the ice way too easily, and San Jose has shut them down a little bit better tonight. Let's go back to Game 1 on the first goal that was scored. That's Duncan Keith on the right side of your screen. He led the play that led to the goal, uncontested all the way up the ice. Now in tonight's game, most of the time, San Jose shutting these guys down, getting them into bad positions, and making them make a pass. And they've done a much better job at that. They're getting on Brian Campbell. They get it to Keith. Keith doesn't really have anywhere to go. So they've done one thing. The other problem they have to worry about that is Chicago Blackhawks defensemen are really good with the stretch pass. And San Jose didn't do quite as good a job at that in the first period. So they also have to keep their eyes open for that one.
Okay, a scoreless first period. Close but no cigar for Joe Pavelski. It turns out he kicks one in. But if you're close, if it's a possibility that it might be a goal, don't you have to sell it a little bit?
You really have to sell it, Bill. There's no question. Everybody in the building thought that it was a goal by Joe Pavelski. There's only one guy that didn't think it was, and that was Joe Pavelski himself, and I'll show you why. Here's how Joe Pavelski celebrates goals. Watch the reaction here, the fist pump. He's a happy camper. Here's another big goal against the Red Wings. Here comes the fist pump again. Joe Pavelski, he knows he scored there. Watch his reaction here as he battles for the loose puck in front of the net. Everybody thinks that there's a couple actors he can learn from, Kevin James and Vince Vaughn. There's the kick right there. Now watch his reaction. Very subtle, little tap to his teammates. He's the only guy in the building that knew it wasn't a goal. You need to celebrate it anyway. It took us 4 different camera angles to finally decide that he had kicked it in. Sometimes the guys in the NHL office don't exactly see everything. Sell it. Get that puck dropped, get to the face-off circle. Joe Pavelski's still a young player.
Indeed. All right, nicely done. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at Big Buff Daddy, if you will, Dustin Byfuglien of the Chicago Blackhawks.
It just seems like he's really blossoming that role, and he's almost the perfect guy for it. He's really big, he gets pucks, and he keeps it simple and just pretty much drives the net and let us do pretty much what we want on the outside.
You've never seen fast. You've never held it in your hand, then unleashed it with the fingertip. Never watched pixels whip by at 1 gigahertz and had your neurons struggle to keep up. You've never seen fast because you've never seen this. The Droid Incredible by HTC with a 1 gigahertz Snapdragon processor. It's nothing short of its name.
Get ready for a UFC event of epic proportions. Nelson versus Schaub. Or Schaub versus Jones. Or Jones versus Nelson. Or Nelson versus McSweeney. Or McSweeney versus Jones. How about Schaub versus McSweeney? Ha! All of them will fight all of them and anyone else. And the only way to join the rib-crushing, ego-bruising action is to put the finalists from TV's Ultimate Fighter 10 back in the octagon.
That's 4 extra fighters, exclusively when you pre-order UFC Undisputed 2010 at GameStop. Powered to the players. Rated T for teen.
What is iPad? iPad is thin. iPad is beautiful. iPad goes anywhere and lasts all day. There's no right way or wrong way. It's crazy powerful. It's magical. You already know how to use it. It's 200,000 apps and counting. All the world's websites in your hands. It's video, photos, more books than you could read in a lifetime. It's already a revolution, and it's only just begun.
When was the last time you went the scenic route? Or went out for a night off the town? Would you like to take a road trip to a place with no roads? Then you belong at Bass Pro Shops. Our National Go Outdoors event is going on now with great deals on great gear for camping, hiking, paddle sports, and more. Plus free family activities and crafts this weekend. And for a limited time, you can save $1,000 on a Tracker Pro Team 170 while supplies last. Your adventure starts here.
Saturday, the 2 surprise teams of the playoffs, now 1 step away from the Stanley Cup final. Will the Canadiens continue their amazing run, or is Philly destined for Cup glory? Then Sunday, the Western Conference final blows into the Windy City. Will San Jose take down Kane and Tays, or will Chicago's young guns down the Sharks? The Stanley Cup playoffs, Saturday and Sunday on NBC.
Welcome back. When the 6'4", 257 to 270-pound Dustin Byfuglien plants himself in front of the crease, there are very few NHL players who can move him. Byfuglien has been wreaking havoc throughout these playoffs, creating screens in front of opposing goaltenders and creating offense for the Blackhawks. He's a puzzle that's not easy to solve.
You're not going to move that man. He's that big and he's that strong and he establishes himself.
You know, he can skate for a big man. He can cause havoc. He's good with the puck. He's going to lay some big hits.
Well, I mean, there's not too many guys that can physically handle him.
It just seems like he's really blossoming. He's almost the perfect guy for it. He's really big. He gets pucks and he keeps it simple.
I think it's always something that for us defensemen, at least, are looking to try and find him in front of the net. Use him as a screen or a tip.
Very good net front presence, but has a good stick and has a knack for scoring. Byfuglien can shoot too. He likes to come down. He likes to shoot. He was a force with Vancouver.
He scored a hat trick with myself and Taze, and
he was a huge part of that win. And he went under their skin. You know, they know how to handle him. You know, playing against a big team like San Jose, you know, do the same thing. You know, it's great for our team.
You know, he's going to go where he wants to go, but we need to be a little bit quicker when the puck gets around. You know, he's a guy we need to pay special attention to.
He's just all around a force out there for us.
The most interesting play of the first period. In off the skate of Joe Pavelski, not the stick. No goal, no score.
Where there's hockey, there's Honda, official vehicle of the NHL.
Want to transform your room? Get a Fathead. A Fathead is an enormous graphic that sticks to your wall. Life-size athletes, gigantic logos, and much more. Log on to fathead.com, where you'll find hundreds of images. And right now, when you buy any Fathead, we'll give you a second one for a half price. And that's not all. For a limited time, when you enter the code at the bottom of your screen, we'll ship your entire order for free. Go to fathead.com while this offer's still good and transform your room with Fathead.
DirecTV helps parents make smart TV choices.
I use parental controls to block the bad guys and lock out all those scaly monsters for my daughter, all by pressing the menu button.
Now that's getting the most out of your service. DirecTV. TV with benefits. DirecTV helps you make family-friendly viewing choices.
I use common sense media ratings, so I don't ever have to hear, Mommy, what does mean again? I just go to directtv.com.
Now that's getting the most out of your service. DirecTV. TV with benefits.
Tonight, Versus brings you The Daily Line, a new breed of sports show that lets you get in on the action.
It is a huge night from the ice to the diamond to the NBA.
Covering the day's hottest topics. Score! The picks.
Love the over in this game.
And a bit of the unexpected. The Daily Line, tonight on Versus.
We are back with the Pizza Hut. First period stats, no score. The first goal in this game will be a big one. San Jose is 4-1 when they score first. Chicago 7-1 when they do.
This has been the Pizza Hut Stanley Cup Intermission Report on Versus. Delivered to you by Pizza Hut. Get any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings for one low price.
Black one. Where? Black one. Where?
Black one. Ow, where?
The Volkswagen Tiguan.
The only compact SUV with a turbocharged engine standard.
Black one! Where? There.
Lease the 2010 Tiguan for just $269 a month. It's a whole new Volkswagen and a whole new game.
The new slimmest in class Nikon Coolpix S8000 with an ultra high res LCD and 10 times zoom. The new Coolpix L110 with 15 times zoom. And the new Coolpix P100 with 26 times zoom. Zoom makes them fun. Their lenses make them Nikons. And check out these stylish and compact Coolpix cameras.
People notice yellow stains. So try a new Speed Stick Stain Guard, the breakthrough antiperspirant with stain defense technology that helps protect you and your shirts. Fight yellow stains with new Speed Stick Stain Guard. Smarter than sweat.
Beer. It's delicious. But could it be deliciouser? Oh, yes, says Captain Morgan Lime Bite. I add a ridiculous flavor to every beer. Bite this. Brohimet. Try Captain Morgan Lime Bite. Drink responsibly.
For graduation, we gave identical twins gift cards from very unidentical stores. Let's see what happens.
Gift card. Yeah. Spend some money, dude. Gift card.
Let's check out some laptops.
Oh, yes. Go, 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 go. Nice.
And check this out. You can stream it right to your TV.
Yeah, get it in there. Get it in there. I'll take it.
Class is in session.
Supernova.
Technology's so cute.
This graduation, give them something they'll actually need. Give them a gift card from Best Buy.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car is now an official partner of the NHL. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
A unique look at the beautiful city of Chicago. Welcome back. Western Conference Finals on Versus presented by Progressive Insurance. No score after one. John Forsland, Darren Elliott back with you. Evgeny Nabokov, very good for the Sharks in period one.
Outstanding. We said his margin for error down 2-0 was all but gone. Well, he came out and showed his team he is there for them. I thought he was the story of that first period other than the goal being waved off. I liked how he played outside the paint. Look at his initial setup. He's outside the rim of the crease. Very important for Evgeny Nabokov not to get pinned in the paint. And they did that to him in Game 2. Didn't happen in the first period of Game 3.
The Madhouse on Madison, United Center. 22,000 here tonight. We're joined also by Carissa Thompson and our fine crew. Game number 3, Chicago leading this best-of-7 series, 2-0. A heavy hit. Andrew Ladd going hard at Joe Thornton. Versteeg in back of Nabokov. They grind a cycle. Versteeg up top. Delivers a pass by David Bolin. Now Andrew Ladd out in front. Broken up by Rob Blake. Marc-Edouard Vlasic tries to clear. Cut off by Bolin. Gained here by Logan Couture. And out they go.
There's that step up by Duncan Keith. You have to be such a supreme defenseman to have confidence and skating ability to do that. Oncoming attacker with the puck, and you just step right into his lane and disrupt everything before it gets going.
And a line change. They had to be careful. They were. Here's Patrick Kane out in front. It's loose. Nabokov with Taves out in front. Stacking those pads, and now Dustin Byfuglien. Pushed by Douglas Murray. Chalmerson shot deflects wide of Nabokov. Now Holcho tries to clear. The Sharks will. Patrick Marleau steers it ahead. Brian Campbell back for Chicago. Malhotra has Klo out in front. Manny Malhotra. Good pickup for Doug Wilson, the general manager of the Sharks. In the offseason, a role guy who can play in all 3 zones. Now Byfuglien out to center ice. Pauline. Malhotra one more time. Over the line, he's in on Campbell. Ryan Klo from well out. It's caught by Niemi.
Now, we want to talk about the checking line, literally and figuratively. Andrew Ladd on that checking line, the shutdown line. Wow, send a message to Jumbo Joe. Sends Thornton flying into the end boards.
Andrew Ladd won a Stanley Cup in Carolina in 06. And it's been a nice acquisition here for Chicago, and he plays big in the playoffs.
He does, and you have Versteeg and Boland, and they're in the offensive zone. That's the best way to be a checking line. Keep those offensive players 200 feet from the net and lay a licking like that one.
Off the face-off, Sharp wins it back. Sharp, Madden, two centermen out for Joe Quenneville. Marian Hossa, that's the line. Pavelski, Heatley out in front, bang, bang! Stopped by Niemi! What a feed by Joe Pavelski for Danny Heatley. And Antti Niemi had another idea.
Danny Heatley got to the spot. Got his shot. Look how quick he released that. But somebody draped all over him, and John Madden. Alexa's goal cam shows you that Niemi gets off the goal line, gets the left pad down, but Madden, that pressure didn't allow Heatley to elevate the shot.
Young Finnish goaltender, so strong in those legs. He's 210 pounds, 6'2".
He's thick.
Penalty being called up top. Both officials have the arm up. McCreary. So we have a holding call along the boards. 2 minutes gone in the second period.
Boland for the hold. I believe it was on Pavelski. Again, the good cycle play. Third time in this game. Right there. Free hand right there on Pavelski by Boland.
Let's go downstairs and join Carissa Thompson.
Well, guys, I caught up with Chicago assistant Mike Pavlin, and he says we got to keep Nabokov in the net, and we have to continue to attack the net. We've turned the puck over too much in the neutral zone, and we got to get pucks behind their D. Continue to keep things simple, as they always say. Stay disciplined, and it sounds funny coming from Chicago, but he says we got to slow this down a little bit.
That's interesting, Carissa. Boland, his second penalty tonight. He's gone for holding. He took a goaltender interference penalty at 1:16 of period one. Another penalty in neutral ice.
Hossa.
Marian Hossa getting involved with Pavelski. Boyle over the line. Heatley loading the gun. Denied by the blocker of Niemi. Centered by Pavelski off of Niemi. Gained by Chalmerson. 5-on-3 for the Sharks.
Joe Quenneville looking up to see what the damage is. And it's a lengthy one.
Chicago minor penalty number 81. Hooking.
There's the hook after the turnover. Wow. I think you'd like a little more forensic evidence in that, but there's right on the hands. There it is. There's the forensic evidence we were looking for. 5-on-3. Hossa with the turnover. Had he just shot the puck down the ice, wouldn't be in this predicament.
You right up, you get the hands, they're going to get you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
San Jose has 3 5-on-3 goals in the playoffs. Marlowe punches one wide. Pavelski out in front of Niemi. Pavelski now to the corner it goes. Thornton drops it off. Danny Heatley in back of Niemi. At the point, here's Patrick Marlowe. He'll settle it down. Madden is the up-front killer. Boyle inside Pavelski. Giving off now for Boyle. They play catch, he and Marlowe. Boyle goes down low for Joe Thornton. Thornton closes. Pavelski sends it high. He was wide open.
He missed his shot there. He spooned it.
Now Heatley turns. Thornton again. Chalmerson goes down along with Madden. They cut off the passing lanes. One-timer Boyle wide of Antti Niemi. And a good break for San Jose. Pavelski for Thornton. Holding. Denied by Niemi. He loses it. And a quick whistle blows it dead. And now a skirmish out in front. As the tempers flare.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Tempers flare, frustrations mount on the part of the Sharks. And the Blackhawks a little bit tired themselves because they're down 5 men to 3, and Joe Pavelski knows he missed the best bid on Niemi in this sequence. They waited for the lane to open up. There it is. Shoots it off the pass. Cannot connect. And then on the other side, as quick as Joe Thornton is to pass the puck, he's a little slower to let it go. He got a beautiful pass through to Pavelski, who wasted no time and just missed it. And Niemi, big in the goal again. He's going to have, look, he lets the linesman come and tend to the goal. Put it back on its moorings. Put it back on the pegs. Give his team a chance to calm down and relax. Well, he might be 26 years of age. First year in the NHL. Veteran moxie showing right there.
He has 2 shutouts in the postseason, 7 in the regular season. Thornton going after it. See the time left in the 5-on-3. Controlled, Pavelski, Marlowe. Closing, shooting one, blocked in front. Off of Heatley. Marlowe gets it back, one-timer, faked by Boyle. They catch now with Patrick Marlowe. Dan Boyle, Joe Pavelski. Diagonally across Marlowe, Thornton down low, off the paddle of Niemi. Now Boyle, he'll think about it. Flat pass Pavelski, Marlowe will settle it down. Shoot one high over the top of Niemi. Pavelski turns it off the goal stick. Marlowe scores! Patrick Marlowe finds a way high. Power play goal, San Jose with a 1-0 lead.
They pinned Niemi in. He went down, put the paddle down. It looks as if it expired. The first penalty had just expired. No way for Bowden to get back into play. But if you're going to give up a goal 5-on-3, it's better not to remain 5-on-4. But here's Niemi with a nice paddle down play. Now he's pinned. There's nothing he could do. Marlowe pounces on it. And you can see a glove of Niemi, but that's all. And he almost got it.
Almost did.
Wow. That's a great look at it, guys. In traffic, in trouble. And they're trying to find out the exact time now. They tried to sneak Hossa out. So it becomes it still is a 5-on-4. He tried to, they had to go back, look at the actual timing on everything. Hossa tried to sneak to the bench. So it will remain 5-on-4. And it's a 1-0 lead. The Sharks, very, very impressive. Quenville knows his team is they're in it. They're in the soup right now. Because the San Jose Sharks didn't have much going on through the neutral zone in the first period, as we documented. But they have really showed some determination in this hockey game.
It's their third power play goal in this series, as now it's cleared in. Hossa will sit for another 28 seconds. Now Holtro. His own zone will lead it out. 5-on-4, conventional power play, Ryan Clough. Taking on John Madden, dealing away from Malhotra. Manny Malhotra is pass deflected by Brent Sobel. He'll hammer one down. Jason Demers. Good keep. Now Rob Blake's shot blocked by Chalmerson out in front. Setaguchi hunts it down. Nicholas Chalmerson tries to reverse it off of Clough. Devin Setaguchi for San Jose is there. Madden out to center ice. Hossa's out of the box. Even terms on the ice surface, not on the board. Patrick Marlowe, the power play goal, 1-0 Sharks. Hossa's shot, hung on to by Nabokov.
Patrick Marlowe shoots it quickly. It knuckles just over the glove, the webbing of Niemi. You can see, oh, what a great look at it as the trapper closing after the puck is by it. But Marlowe, quick to the spot, quick with the shot. Wasn't his hardest, but he found it. And he has been brilliant.
Saw his series numbers. He had 44 goals in the regular season, 21 of those on the road. Pavelski and Boyle get the assist. Taves turns it off a skate.
Now has a 7-game point-scoring streak. So he's been doing all he can during this postseason to lead the team.
Austin Bufflin away from Dan Boyle to the point. Swung across by Jordan Hendry. Brian Campbell looking for a tip. Just over the stick of Patrick Kane. Kane for Taves. Moving on Pavelski. Pavelski working hard defensively. Patrick Kane in the outskirts. Shooting one through traffic off of Bufflin. Dustin Bufflin. The boys at Hockey Central talked about his net presence during the first intermission. What a force he has been.
And that was the first time we've seen it. He was actually calling for that puck from Kane from the corner.
Now Douglas Murray, a collision with Patrick Kane. Play his whistle dead on a hand pass. The Stanley Cup playoffs continue on Versus Monday at 7 Eastern. The Canadiens seek to continue their offensive explosion against the Philadelphia Flyers in Game 5. Then, should this series go to a Game 5, we'll be back out in San Jose Tuesday night at 9 Eastern. Kickoff each night with the Amway Global Hockey Central pregame report at 6:30 on Monday and at 8:30 on Tuesday. The Eastern and Western Conference Finals presented by Progressive only on Versus.
The guys in the studio getting even busier if that's possible.
Well, I don't think it's possible, but they're doing it.
That was a great point by Jonesy. That
in the celebration.
Yeah.
Niemi holding on to it.
And coming from a guy that probably remembers every single celebration he ever had.
Come on now.
That's why he was so dialed in.
Well, he'll get you back for that. We see this in back of Antti Niemi.
Yeah, this one's just simmering. And Dan O'Rourke pointing over his shoulder. He's not hitchhiking. San Jose Sharks They're banking on the fact that they've been 80% when they score first. I think the most telling number of that is it's only happened 5 times, now 6.
Getting a penalty out of this, Darren, a slashing call in back of Niemi.
That one. Couture, the young player, a little too forceful with the shooting implement used for a whack-a-mole device. And that'll be called slashing in our game. And a big opportunity with an undisciplined penalty here.
Young man who was the 9th overall pick in 07. Logan Couture gone for slashing. Sharp up top. Top of the ring, it's Duncan Keith. Keith holding onto it now. Pass corralled by Jonathan Taves. 22-year-old captain for Duncan Keith, and now Sharp for Taves. Closing. Here's Keith. His shot wide of Nabokov. Blake in a battle with Bufflin. Patrick Marleau has open ice. He gets it all the way down to Antti Niemi. Duncan Keith, he thumped that one. He can bring it. The quarterback out to center ice. Patrick Sharp. Now Holcher from behind and Murray down low. Dan Boyle tries to get it by Taves. Nothing doing. To the point it goes. Duncan Keith. Saucer pass moved along by Taves. Off the stick of Kane. Dustin Bufflin. Circles. Wrap chance denied. And he knocks down Scott Nickel. Here's Patrick Sharp holding onto it. Pass sailing past Patrick Kane, who gets it now from Duncan Keith. Kane thinks about it. The goal line, Taves out in front. They score! Patrick Sharp sneaking in on the back door has tied it.
In our open, we talked about the captain, Jonathan Taves. This play never happens for these fans to celebrate if Taves isn't brilliant along the boards to keep the play alive. Now they get it set up. Now he reads the play, and he with the payoff. But look at this lane. What a great look by our guys. Dare I say, Jonesy could have celebrated on that one. And they do here in Chicago. In red and mass.
Oh, he's going to get you. I know. Keep going down that road, Mr. Elliott. Ryan Clough with a shot through traffic wide of Niemi. The Sharks roar back. Blake at the point. Patrick Sharp. It's the goal for Chicago, which is tied game 3. Hawks lead the best of 7, 2 games to none. The center ice area now. At the line, Hossa goes ahead for Sharp. Broke it up. Good job by Marc-Edouard Vlasic. A stretch pass intended for Setoguchi. Devin Setoguchi with his head on a swivel. Ryan Clough advances. And from behind by Marian Hossa, Setoguchi one more time. Hossa loses control, cut off by Marleau. Patrick Marleau for Ryan Clough. Defended by Chicago's Brian Campbell. Dug out by Devin Setoguchi. He'll go to work. A good stick by Brent Sopel. Dave Boland in back of Niemi. Sharks on it. Tough angle. Knocked down in front. Joe Thornton had that chance, and now it's loose this way. San Jose in the process of a line change. Brent Sopel. The Kane center ice. Take a hit from Thornton and get it deep. Ken Huskins. Flushed out by Chris Versteeg. Huskins. At the checkered line, he'll get it deep. Hard around it goes. Thornton. Inside, Torrey Mitchell. Hit hard by Seabrook. Pass intended for Logan Couture doesn't work. Here's Andrew Ladd. Ladd cutting. Moving across for Keith. His shot fended off. Frozen by Nabokov. 11:30 left to go in the second period. Patrick Marleau with a power play goal answered by the Blackhawks. Patrick Sharp. We're tied at 1 in the Windy City.
How do you spot the guys who always do a super job? Just look for a business with the Super Guarantee Shield. You'll get the job done right, or we'll help to make it right. Protect yourself with the Super Guarantee. Only at superpages.com.
Cold, clean, iron-free. This was the water he'd been searching for. Down in the hollow, where he would build his business. Never varying from his recipe. Staying true to the process. Growing to meet a demand that would stretch far beyond the hills of Tennessee. Quite a feat for the little man from the middle of nowhere, who knew he had something so special. He was proud to give it his name.
I rode in the gang. They left me to die after I'd been shot. You can't change, John.
This is America, where a lying, cheating degenerate can prosper.
It's you or me. The way I see it, might as well be you.
Red Dead Redemption, out now. Rated M for mature.
PlayStation. Isn't it a little late to be selling lemonade?
There should be more to a party than just beer. And Cheryl over there doesn't even drink beer.
Thanks.
Who's Cheryl?
I have no idea.
Don't forget the mics. Lemonade for grown-ups.
We have history tonight here in Chicago. Jonathan Toews with points in 12 consecutive playoff games, and he surpasses a great legend, number 21 on the left.
Stan Mikita, wow, does he look great, huh?
He can still play.
My goodness. Big smile on his face. Jonathan Toews never smiles. He's the serious one. But man, he's got serious game, a franchise playoff record with that beautiful feed. Our guys grabbed a great look at it. Low look, out of the corner, ripped it right at the top of the paint. Sharp, all he had to do was knock it home.
His 7th goal of the playoffs for Patrick Sharp and Jonathan Toews. Patrick Kane, 6:59, the time of that one, has tied game 3. Evgeny Nabokov will move it along. Campbell pinches for Chicago. Here's Kane walking it out in front of loose puck, soccer style by Blake. A good play as he kicks it out of harm's way. Toews. Kane walks it again. Patrick Kane puts on a show, but it's blocked by Rob Blake. And the Sharks now will attempt to survive as they try to get it out of their own zone, and they do.
Yeah, what a great foil. Patrick Kane is a showboat one, and Jonathan Toews is a serious one. And together, they're a perfect foil for one another.
Like a marriage, right?
Heck of a shift right there.
Buffalo moving up on Douglas Murray. Throws on the brakes. Broken up here by Ryan Clough. In his own end. Forechecked a bit by Patrick Kane. He escapes that and carries out. Ryan Clough now moving up on Brian Campbell. Clough, a good job going down low. Up top, Dan Boyle. Thinking about it this way, Douglas Murray. Right back for Boyle. Again for Murray. His shot through traffic stopped by Niemi. Loose puck Marlowe. He'll send it wide. Boyle pinches, sidestepping Eager. Cleared ahead by Campbell. Knocked down by John Madden. Here they come. Madden with a shot wide of Nabokov. Dan Boyle, peppered by Eager. Good job by Chicago's 55. Now the Sharks have control. Malhotra gets it by Sokol. They almost trapped the zone, and now Hendry has it.
And they were lucky that they had support coming all the way back.
Andrew Ladd shooting one, attempting to use Ken Huskins as a screen. Brouwer this way for Ladd. Seabrook at the point. Brent Seabrook, Chris Versteeg. Versteeg now holding onto that puck out in front. Shooting one. Good save, Nabokov. Ladd ahead now for Dave Bolin. Bolin to the corner, you see it. Along the wall, shot taken, just wide. There's Nabokov down and out. Through center ice. Bolin's in again. Dave Bolin thinks about it. Swallowed by Evgeny Nabokov. Marissa Thompson will have Chicago coach Joel Quenneville at the bench when we come back to beautiful Chicago.
Want to transform your room? Get a Fathead. A Fathead is an enormous graphic that sticks to your wall. Life-size athletes, gigantic logos, and much more. Log on to fathead.com where you'll find hundreds of images. And right now, when you buy any Fathead, we'll give you a second one for a half price. And that's not all. For a limited time, when you enter the code at the bottom of your screen, we'll ship your entire order for free. Go to fathead.com while this offer's still good and transform your room with Fathead.
Earn VIP savings on movies and events with DirecTV Text to Save Club. Text JOIN to 223322 and start saving big with offers like these.
Valentine's Day is about anger, disappointment, love,
romance, mating,
discretion,
Berkeley,
commitment.
I love hype.
She said yes!
Order Valentine's Day on your mobile phone before June 6th and get $4.99 cash back after mail-in rebate. Membership is free. Join today.
I like your messy hair. I like the clothes you wear. I like the way you sing. And when you dance with me, you always make me smile.
We believe you're at your best when you can truly be yourself.
And at Holiday Inn, you always can. Holiday Inn. Stay you. And stay rewarded with the Hit It Big promotion. Earn up to $500 at over 300 retailers.
Welcome back to Chicago, where we are all tied up. Coach, you guys were able to get on the board with the man advantage, but so were they. I know you want to keep things simple, slow it down, and stay disciplined. How do you do so?
Well, pretty good pace here. You know, I think our at home here, this playoff, we haven't been great. I like the way we had the first period. This period, we're coming on after that power play goal.
You want to continue to get pucks in behind their D. How do you do that?
We need better dumps. We need better chips. We need better support.
Appreciate the time, Joel. Thank you. Guys?
Thank you, Carissa. It always sounds like it's very simple, but those principles in this sport are not that easy. And that's why the coaches continue to say it. Players attempt to do it. Sometimes it doesn't work. Good job by Nabokov. A turnaround shot by Marian Hossa.
They make it sound so simple. Carissa's getting an education in coach speak right there.
Chalmerson with a shot. Good save. Rebound loose for Hossa. Blocked in front by Rob Blake and gathered in by Nabokov.
Marian Hossa banking off the base of the net in game 2. You can see he's fighting it a little bit. There's not enough avarice in the attack here for him. He's not greedy enough. Watch, it's a little bit of a put back a little bit quick. Rob Blake, now you have to give the Sharks credit for swarming, but right there, Marian Hossa is much more sure-handed than that when he's playing with confidence. That's not a confident man handling the puck, and he knows he's not going to have much time, and he's not able to make it. Rob Blake, 40-year-old netminder on that one.
Blake in classic 2. Good job. Kane now moves it inside. Jonathan Taves, Bufflin, pedal down Nabokov. Douglas Murray. Finished off hard by the Hawk captain Taves. It comes out to center ice.
Seriously, the thing about Jonathan Taves, again, the reason we talked about him in the open is obvious. 12 straight playoff games with a point. But the little stuff is what really makes him special. The work along the boards. You'll talk to coaches, they'll say power plays are because of execution. Right here, this play right there. Look at the support out high. That kept the power play alive. And from there, they were able to get it back to Taves, who ends up having the primary assist on the tying goal. It was the little subtle play, the support along the boards, 30 seconds before they scored the goal by the captain, made all the difference in the world.
Murray is back to get it, icing again, and it comes on the birthday of Stan Mikita. 69 years young today. Jonathan Taves breaks his record.
And look at this list. Moving on up with a bullet, or at least with a chevron beside it. That's a who's who of Blackhawks offensive stars.
Off the face-off, Campbell has it. John Forsland, Darren Elliott, Carissa Thompson. And with our fine crew here at United Center, Chicago, Game 3. Hawks winning 2 in San Jose. Game number 4 is Sunday afternoon here. Now Heatley dusting it off, blocked. Rolls in on the Emmy, who's ready. Keith defending on Heatley. And Chicago now in their own zone with Seabrook. And they get by Andrew Ladd all the way back. Huskins again, icing for the 3rd straight time against Chicago.
Slowing it down a little bit. Chris had talked to Joel Quenneville about the pace. Sharks hanging in there really well. This is an impressive effort. Todd McClellan won't think so unless they get the result. They need the result. But through half a hockey game, hats off to him and his leadership group. You mentioned Dan Boyle. We talked to Rob Blake.
Huskins shot, good save, the rebound handled off of Clough. Antti Niemi exploding at that original shot. Now Seabrook.
You're impressed with his lower body leg strength, aren't you? He gets to that top of the paint. Almost like a crab move. He's so low and squat, yet he's able to get out to at least the top of the paint.
Setaguchi with a shot wide of Antti Niemi. Rob Blake inserts it down low. Go to the corner. Battle along the boards now. Setaguchi, classic shot, tipped on the way through. Pavelski had it blocked by Duncan Keith. Ryan Clough. Knocked down by Andrew Ladd. Good job by Clough setting up Blake. His shot answered by Niemi. Mopped up by Keith. Duncan Keith this way. Chris Versteeg. He'll send it back. 6:57 left to go in the 2nd period. 21 shots for San Jose, 20 for Chicago. Patrick Marleau, Patrick Sharp have the goal. Center zone, Brouwer knocks it down with a high stick. We get a stoppage.
Here's what we're talking about. Face-off win. Comes back. Look at that leg strength and span by Antti Niemi. There's the strength to just a little subtle push. Even though he was legs akimbo, left to right, he was able to get that right pad in place and keep it 1-1.
Started this series with a 44 save performance in game 1, which was absolutely stellar.
Best game I've ever seen him play. I can't say that I've seen him play maybe more than 20 times, but
well, he said so too. Quick to say yes it is. They asked him, he said yes. Couture's shot. Good job by Niemi. Back to the point. Dan Boyle. Douglas Murray. Slap pass not available for Torrey Mitchell. Brought out here. Good look at Patrick Sharp. Driven in by Dan Boyle. Now Torrey Mitchell for San Jose. Moving up on Brent Sofel. Veteran stays with him, and then Mitchell's hit by Brouwer. Centering pass. They look for Logan Couture, who punches it back to the point. A tough one to handle for Marc-Edouard Vlasic. John Forsland, Darren Elliott, Carissa Thompson, along with our crew, United Center here in Chicago. Game 3, Western Conference Finals, presented by Progressive Insurance. Carried out by Jonathan Toews. Moving up on Vlasic. Joe Thornton gets back. You see it. To the corner it goes for Blake. Quick up. Intended for Scott Nickel. Turned back by Patrick Kane. Kane in the zone. Stutter step wide of Nabokov. A loose puck, Jamie McKinn. McKinn now out to center ice. Muscled by Toews. And Nickel gets back. Under 6 minutes left. Shot taken. Blocked. That one from Joe Thornton. Thornton again looking for it. Nick Pauline at the point. Sends it in. McKinn peppered by Keith. Here's Seabrook. His team tries to steer it by Huskins. He does. A loose puck cleared in offside. We get a stoppage. 5:09 left to go in the second period. Tied at 1. Game number 3 from Chicago.
Weekend, I will not turn my backyard into a botanical wonderland.
I will simply feed the lawn.
I will just repaint the living room.
I will not start out fixing the shower.
And end up renovating the entire bathroom.
I will go to Ace.
So I can knock it out fast.
And then, I will read comic books.
The folks at Ace help you find what you need so you can get in, get help, and get on with your life. Right now, get a canopy chair for just $19.99 at Ace, the helpful place.
Exceptional taste, that's pure Amsterdam. Amstel Light, one damn good beer.
Papa's in the house.
Now create your own specialty pizza or choose any of our signature specialty pizzas. Just $10. Your recipe and our ingredients could win you pizza for life. Go to papajohns.com for details.
With livestock, it's a 7-day-a-week, 12-month job.
There's basically no off time. I'm always on.
Some days we're here until 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then do it all over again.
We don't take breaks or anything like that. We eat standing up, we drink standing up. We just go right through until we're done, and then we go home.
I'm Bill Patrick. Ahead on the Verizon Intermission Report, I'm joined again by Keith Jones, Brian Engblom, and Darren McCarty. We've got another look at Patrick Marleau's goal with the help of 360 vision, plus a closer look at Little Joe. That, of course, is Joe Pavelski of the Sharks, and that's ahead. John?
Hey, Bill, thanks very much. And just keep in mind, Darren Elliott, for the record, took 3 shots at Keith Jones.
No, just 2.
No, I thought it was 3. You sure? I think it was 3.
And he'll say that's about as many as I stopped in my career.
Just want to bring that up. And, no.
I'll beat him to the punch at least once.
Let him work.
No, I thought it was a great point, though.
Yes.
You know, the celebration may be a tip-off.
Hossa. Bringing it back for Campbell. Wide of Nabokov. Chalmerson at the point. Turning with it is Patrick Sharp. He has Chicago's goal. 1-1 standoff in game 3. Sharp inside it goes. Huskins defends. Huskins now knocked it down, and it's carried out here by Patrick Marleau. Try and move it by Brian Campbell. See it up close. Heatley and back of Niemi. Danny Heatley trading places that time and moving it back to the point for Vlasic. Shot taken by Blake, blocked in front, cleared by Chalmerson. He'll wipe it all the way out. Nicholas Chalmerson had 3 blocks in game 2. He ices the puck, and we get a stoppage. It's late May. It's Indianapolis. It's time for the Indy 500. Tomorrow at 11 a.m., the Bull Day time trials begin. Versus will be there covering all the drama and excitement as the teams take their turns at qualifying for a spot on the starting line. Who will grab the pole? Who will be the last car in and the last car bumped? Find out as Versus brings you exclusive coverage from the Brickyard tomorrow at 11. Bull Day at Indy only on Versus. Along the boards now, Marian Hossa tries to dig it out. He's bottled up by Torrey Mitchell. Hossa now back out to center ice. Rob Blake with Marc-Edouard Vlasic as Blake now will send it deep. Chicago with a quick change and play is whistled dead.
Chuck, one of the reasons why Joe Pavelski can be marked, Joe Thornton can be marked. If Boland isn't out there when Thornton is, well, how about the next line up? You've got Brouwer, Hossa, and Sharp all on the line. They all kill penalties. So Pavelski, Thornton, Marleau, Heatley, it's difficult. Setaguchi, it's difficult to find open space. Chicago gave up the fewest shots on goal in the National Hockey League during the regular season. They have the puck an awful lot, and when they don't have it, they're really good at getting it back. And I think the San Jose Sharks are finding that out, especially 5-on-5, where they really haven't been able to mount much. And when they do get a good look, there's a guy named Niemi being their nemesis.
The goal tonight on the power play scored by Patrick Marleau. Now out of the corner. A chance, spanning on it, mishitting it. Dave Boland. It's cleared out by Douglas Murray. Joe Thornton. Thornton over the line inside for Logan Couture. Couture takes a hit, tries to make a play. He will. Rob Blake awaits the pass. Setaguchi wedges inside. It goes astray. Moving up, Vlasic. Vlasic inside. Couture looking for Thornton, denied at the defense. Chicago, good job in their own zone. Out they come. Here's Versteeg.
Boland against that Thornton line again.
Versteeg in the corner. Pinned a bit by Vlasic. Taves with a bump on Couture. It's a 4-man scrum. Out of the pile, Logan Couture. Played indirectly off the boards, out to center ice. 2:43 left to go the second period. Patrick Marleau, Patrick Sharp have the goals. Both scored in the second period. Dustin Byfuglien. Rob Blake taking care of Taves. Now Byfuglien will bust in. Dustin Byfuglien in back of the goal. Jonathan Taves over skating. A loose puck as we see. Byfuglien has it. Chicago's Dustin Byfuglien. Good pass for Sopel. Inside it goes. Patrick Kane now turning. Looking for a lane. He'll wheel away from Vlasic, who stays right with him. Patrick Kane puts on a show, goes to work down low, tries a pass. Great job by Vlasic. The young 23-year-old defenseman staying right with Patrick Kane.
Well, you can't play man-on-man defense better than Marc-Edouard Vlasic just did on one of the trickiest stick handlers in the game today in Patrick Kane.
Now Hendry. Jordan Hendry, under 2 minutes left in the second period. Chicago with a 2-game lead in this best-of-7. Now it's Evgeny Nabokov. Sealing the wall for Chicago is Ben Eager. Dug out and carried out by Ryan Clough, 2-on-2. He and Torrey Mitchell, they're onside. Mitchell steams in the zone on Chalmerson. Plays it with poise. Along the boards, Madden taps ahead. Eager coming up on Murray. Ben Eager throws on the brakes, floats it in, where it's scooped up by Nabokov.
Featured matchup from beginning of the game. In our open, we talked about it. David Boland on Joe Thornton. And I believe Joe Thornton's playing well. He's playing hard. But Boland and his line mates getting the best of Joe Thornton. This is from the last game. Joe Thornton with a vicious whack on the right hand that, coincidentally or not, happened to be where he whacked him on the hand earlier in that hockey game. But in this one, though, John, the fact is, I think the Boland line has been brilliant because they've spent more time in the San Jose zone in that matchup. They haven't had to defend per se because they've been pressing the issue on the attack.
Thornton has played with everybody tonight. He's out there with Pavelski and Clough right now. Here they come. Joe Thornton. Good read in the center zone by Versteeg. Now Boland will move it back. Boland was a high-scoring junior. He's accepted this defensive role in the big-time. Shot taken, fought off, and Nabokov, loose puck, broken up by Dan Boyle. And he'll move it out of harm's way.
Snow angel by Nabokov. Usually a sign of not knowing. He got fortunate.
David Bolin. The trailer is Keith. Good job by Setaguchi on him. The Sharks are away. You're looking at Scott Nickel. He'll pull up. Grinding center now gets it deep. Duncan Keith back to get it. 27 seconds left to go in the period. A good hit by Scott Nickel on Duncan Keith.
Showing what he's better at because he had the puck in the neutral zone and flubbed it. Without the puck, much more effective on the forecheck.
Here come the Sharks, Darren. Marlowe's shot fought off and covered by Niemi.
Goaltenders continuing to stand tall. Here's Evgeny Nabokov now. He's not tracking it as well as he was in the first. Doesn't know where it went, and there's the not knowing. I'll just do the snow angel, look up to the rafters, and hope I don't hear a big loud cheer. And that's what Nabokov did there. 22 saves tonight. He's been impeccable and a little bit fortunate on that last sequence.
Good help from Boyle. Fought off a check. Yeah, stayed calm and got it out. Puck is cleared out of play on a deflection. 6.9 seconds left to go in the second period.
When I watch Nabokov, though, it's when those shots come in and hit him. Chicago putting pucks at the net. Guys like Taves, Kane, Bufflin. When he's on his game, even though the puck goes to his right, his head's immediately going to the right. This period, I'm seeing a little bit more of that static, okay, where did the puck go to?
Time will wind down here in the second period. The Hawks get it out. Shots are 23 for San Jose, 21 for Chicago. Patrick Marleau for the Sharks, Patrick Sharp for the Blackhawks in this period. Stay tuned as we have the Verizon Stanley Cup Intermission Report coming your way with Bill Patrick, Keith Jones, Brian Engblom, and Darren McCarty right here on Versus.
What is iPad? iPad is thin. iPad is beautiful. iPad goes anywhere and lasts all day. There's no right way or wrong way. It's crazy powerful. It's magical. You already know how to use it. It's 200,000 apps and counting. All the world's websites in your hands. It's video, photos, more books than you could read in a lifetime. It's already a revolution, and it's only just begun.
Come on, back it up. It's the third time this month. What happened this time?
Number one, ice is slippery. Number two, this thing wasn't calibrated before I drove it.
Yeah, same dasher board, same excuse.
Ask Mike Green. He was on the ice the whole time. Tell him, Mike.
Guys, he drove straight into it, and I'm pretty sure he yelled bullseye.
He's just kidding. We need a second opinion.
Winning more awards for quality and customer service than any other luxury manufacturer the last 10 years says something. Yet the award we value most is the fact that Lexus has had more repeat loyal drivers in more of the last 10 years than any other luxury brand. To express our thanks, we're featuring our best values of the year, giving you unprecedented access to Lexus. Lease the 2010 HS250H for $359 a month for 36 months with $29.59 due at signing at your Lexus dealer.
Our new Domino's pizza has a new crust, new sauce, and new cheese, but a few holdouts like Charlie Thomas still haven't tried it. We're gonna see if we can't change that.
We are back, and Charlie Thomas still has not tried Domino's new pizza.
Hello, Domino's Pizza. Charlie Thomas?
This is crazy.
We want to hear from all the holdouts. Now get 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for just $5.99 each.
So what do you think?
I love it.
Experience the tour like never before. Go to Versus.com and access the Versus Tour Tracker, where you can watch every stage live online and in HD. For a limited time, get 21 days of the Tour Tracker for only $27.95. Available now on Versus.com.
This is the Verizon Stanley Cup Intermission Report on Versus. Verizon, the network with the most 3G coverage.
A lot of Patricks to talk about tonight, and there's nothing wrong with that. Patrick Marleau and Patrick Sharp scoring in this game, both on the power play. Here's Patrick Sharp with Carissa.
Thank you, Bill. Well, Patrick able to get on the board with the man advantage. Where was their breakdown that allowed you your 7th goal of the postseason?
It's tough to say. We sent a lot of guys to the net there and looked for loose sticks, and Johnny made a great pass. So there's not a whole lot of chances out there, 5-on-5. Both teams capitalize on their power play, and that's the difference.
Niemi's doing his part for you guys, but Nabokov, 22 saves on the night. What's making it difficult to get by him?
Well, he's doing a good job. He's coming out and challenging the shooter, and their defense is making it tough to get to that net. So we got 20 minutes to find a way to get another one.
And that being said, as you head into the third, what becomes key? Obviously, aside from goal scoring, where's the key?
Oh, we want to go and push for that goal, but we got to be aware of who's out there for them. They got some pretty talented players, and we got to check first and limit their chances. So it's going to be a heck of a period.
Bolin doing his job on Thornton.
Always. We call him the rat for a reason, and he gets under people's skin, and he's doing another good job tonight.
A term of endearment. Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks, Chris.
Bill?
That was definitely the sharpest Patrick.
Easy now. Steady, steady. Welcome to the Verizon Stanley Cup Intermission Report. All right, Patrick Marleau scores finally on that 5-on-3, and courtesy of our Panasonic Viera 360 vision, you're going to show us how.
Yes, 5-on-3 situations are so difficult for the 3 defenders. I mean, you have to have some luck, and you have to move around very quickly, and then you keep your fingers crossed. It didn't work for Chicago. Take a look at number 2 in red. That's Duncan Keith. Watch how he has to come back to the front of the net. Right there, he eliminates Danny Heatley. He had to. The puck was right there, but Patrick Marleau was playing the point. He comes in at exactly the right time, and when the puck comes out, there's nothing that Duncan Keith or any other Chicago Blackhawk can do when Patrick Marleau has hands like that. 3 goals now in this series and 6 goals in the playoffs. Patrick Marleau needed to score in that situation for San Jose very badly, and he came through in a big way.
Okay, before the game began, we spoke of Jonathan Toews and what he means to this Chicago team. And, you know, what strikes me is he is so strong. He doesn't look strong, but he is.
Yeah, and puck possession is such an important part of the game against the San Jose Sharks. Face-off circle, he's 12-4 in the face-off circle. He has been relentless in this game because San Jose, for the most part, has done a good job in getting a bunch of guys around Jonathan Toews. But when he got free on the power play, he made a perfect pass across. Look at him snap that pass to Patrick Sharp. Continues to put points on the board. Now 12 straight games. Jonathan Toews getting the job done for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, you mentioned Toews, and obviously with Kane and Bufflin in that line, it's allowed Marian Hossa really to fly under the radar. He's only got 2 goals in the playoffs. He's had some great chances. He's a guy for Chicago that's squeezing his stick. Now, they're up 2 games in the series, but he's a guy they need to score. On the other hand, San Jose, Danny Heatley's got 4 playoff goals in his last 27 games and only 2 in the series. Putting up some assists, but he's got to step it up. And if San Jose is going to get back into this, he better score a goal pretty soon.
It's going to be a gut-wrenching third period. We're tied at 1 right now. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at the San Jose Sharks' other Joe. That's Joe Pavelski. And that's ahead on the Verizon Stanley Cup Intermission Report, so stay with us.
Today's the day you went from dude to dad. And you want everyone you know to see. So here's your moment of truth. Which 3G network would you trust to upload your very first shots to PhotoBucket?
Hey, look.
When you want your 3G network to work,
What's your email?
you want Verizon. Right now, you can get great deals on 3G and messaging phones like the Samsung Reality for $49.99, plus add-a-line for just $9.99. Only at Verizon.
I just told him, do your best. Build a car you're proud of. Of course, winning's not bad either.
The Subaru Forester, the most award-winning small SUV. Isn't it nice when honest virtues win?
Introducing new Pennzoil Ultra, a revolutionary synthetic oil that takes clean where it's never been before. Nothing keeps your engine closer to factory clean.
Husqvarna, taming the wild.
Maybe it's time you went out for a night off the town. The National Go Outdoors event starts Friday at Bass Pro Shops. Get great deals on great gear, including the new Ascend A10 kayak for under $300, plus free family activities this weekend.
I went into one of those dollar stores the other day to buy a pencil, and guess how much it cost? $2. Not no math whiz, but it seems to me the money doesn't go as far as it used to. With Denny's new 2, 4, 6, 8 value menu, you can get 16 different meals for $2, 4, 6, and $8 any time of day.
We are back. The Blackhawks have done a good job of slowing down the second line of the Sharks, but most feel like it's just a matter of time before Joe Pavelski gets the offense going again. Pavelski entered the series with 9 goals and 6 assists in these playoffs, and he's become a focal point for the opposition.
When you look at the team, you think of, Thornton, Marleau, and Heatley at first, and then you got a guy like Pavelski who you got to worry about a lot too.
Here's Pavelski.
And he does a lot of things. I mean, he plays a lot of different situations. He's penalty kill. He's on the point in the power play this year, which is a little different than the past. And, he's been very productive, him and Danny Boyle back there.
He's a shooter, and, he's having unbelievable playoffs. And we just have to make sure, when he's on the ice, we are a little closer to him and give him any space to shoot the puck.
Here's a shot by Pavelski. Scores! He must believe every time he shoots the puck right now that it's going to go in.
I didn't really know who he was when I got here 2 years ago, but he's been one of our best players.
I mean, he's been good for us or solid for us for the past couple seasons.
Obviously, scoring those big goals, overtime goals, is going to make people notice, no matter who you are.
He's played well for us the entire season, and at this point in the playoffs, he's just taken his game up a little bit more.
When you're hot and you're a goal scorer, you find a little space where you can shoot and you score.
He's playing really good ever since the Olympics, so sometimes when you're hot, it just seems like the puck's following you, you're getting the bounces, and a lot of good things happen.
The thing I noticed about Joe is he trains very hard off the ice. He prepares himself as well as he can to go out and be the best player.
And Pavelski picked up an assist on the goal by Patrick Marleau, the 5-on-3. Made it 1-0 temporarily for the Sharks.
I've never even had a Mike's. So beer is all I ever drink?
Yeah. It's like being with the same woman your whole life.
Getting married this weekend. That one's on him.
Don't forget the Mikes. Lemonade for grown-ups.
Don't like to settle? Now that any pizza at Pizza Hut is just $10, you don't have to. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings is just $10. All your favorite pizzas, any way you want them, just $10. Only at your Pizza Hut.
I rode in a gang. They left me to die after I'd been shot. You can't change, John.
This is America, where a lying, cheating degenerate can prosper.
It's you or me. The way I see it, might as well be you.
Red Dead Redemption. Out now. Rated M for mature.
Tonight, Versus brings you The Daily Line, a new breed of sports show that lets you get in on the action.
It is a huge night from the ice to the diamond to the NBA.
Covering the day's hottest topics. Score! The picks.
Love the over in this game.
And a bit of the unexpected. The Daily Line, tonight on Versus.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
How do we inspire greatness?
From Clint Eastwood comes the most inspiring movie of the year. Now you want to rent Invictus, but you won't find it in your mailbox yet.
Phones change, and we need to change as well.
And you won't find it in that vending machine yet.
Who is with me? Yes! This is our destiny!
Don't worry. It's in the palm of your hand. Invictus. Movies playing on channels 125 through 199.
From cold day to race day, May is is Indie Month on Versus. Poll day begins Saturday at 11.
Time for the Verizon scoring summary. Let's talk about third period goal differential, shall we? The Sharks are a +8. That's the best in the playoffs. The Blackhawks a +5. Keep in mind, Chicago has scored at least one third period goal in each of its last 10 games.
This has been the Verizon Stanley Cup Intermission Report on Versus. Verizon, the network with the most 3G coverage.
We've all heard this story. That you're special. Magic even.
Jonah Hex. Always lack when you show up.
That's right.
Hex!
What happened to your face? Cut myself shaving. What happened to yours?
Is that all you got?
Watch this.
Jonah Hex. Can you shoot?
Can you?
Starts June 18th.
With livestock, it's a 7-day-a-week, 12-month job.
There's basically no off time. I'm always on.
Some days we're here until 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then do it all over again.
We don't take breaks or anything like that. We eat standing up, we drink standing up. We just go right through until we're done, and then we go home.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car is now an official partner of the NHL. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Taco Bell's $2 meal deal, each with a Taco Bell Original, Doritos chips, and a medium soda. 3 items, $2. Now that's a deal.
So I buy a beefy 5-layer burrito and drink, and you throw in the chips for free?
How about you just give me $2 and it's all free?
Let's do it. Why pay more?
Hi, I need to start saving on car insurance.
Money a bit tight?
Yeah, I've had to cut back, sell some stuff. Like his watch.
Ah, we can help you save because we instantly compare your Progressive Direct rate with rates from other top companies. Watch this. Nice savings.
This means I can buy my watch back.
Oh, this watch?
Yeah.
Not for sale.
That's cold.
Making sure you get a great deal. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
The Stanley Cup playoffs on Versus are brought to you by Pizza Hut. Get any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings for one low price. And by Verizon, official wireless service provider of the NHL. And by Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
And here we go down the magnificent mile here in Chicago. A great night and a great game. Tied at 1, game number 3. John Forslund, Darren Elliott back with you. You look for a hero. Lots of candidates in this game tonight.
Yeah, the guys were talking about Danny Heatley, and I go along with that. 4 shots on goal tonight. 19 in the series, no goals. He has to come through if the Sharks are going to go and make sure this doesn't go to a 3-0 deficit.
Danny talks to us about being that guy.
Just get it done, you know. Put it in the net. There's no secret to it. You know, there's no particular reason why it goes in and why it doesn't go in. And you know, bottom line, you just got to find a way to score goals. You don't want to go down 3-0. We've dug ourselves a big enough hole, like I said, and you know, we need this one tonight.
They sure do, to climb back and make this a series down 2 games.
That's overall awareness, not just of his own plight, that of his teams, but the two go hand in hand. Set some looks, no goals yet.
22,311 here at United Center. Game 3, Western Conference Finals. Here on Versus, presented by Progressive Insurance, presented in high definition. Joining us tonight is Carissa Thompson, Checking the sidelines along with our great crew. Niemi makes a fine save on Joe Thornton. And a penalty is called for hooking on the way through. San Jose gets a grade A chance early.
They sure do. Dan O'Rourke over with the call. It's hooking, but it's after the egregious turnover. Duncan Keith looks up, comes back and hampers a little bit, but they had to hold and hook. Was the call just a little bit on the backside of it. Nice job by Niemi.
San Jose goes to work with their power play, and they lose a very good penalty killer in Duncan Keith. On for hooking, as we see. A great chance for the Sharks here at the outset of period 3. Thornton. Dan Boyle, puck on edge, caught by Antti Niemi.
And it's a great chance because, as Patrick Sharp told Carissa, it's really difficult to generate on both sides at the 5-on-5 configuration. Both the goals in this one on the power play. That one seen all the way and grabbed by Niemi.
Dan Boyle, Patrick Marleau, Joe Pavelski, Danny Heatley, Joe Thornton for Todd McClellan. Marleau gains entry. Heatley the trailer with a shot blocked by Sobel. The point it goes for Dan Boyle. Holding, faking that shot. Pavelski dusting it off. Shot taken, blocked on the way through. Taves got in the way. Hossa out to center ice. Marian Hossa pulls up, lays it off for Jonathan Taves. His shot blocked by Dan Boyle, who's stung by it. Out to center ice. Bill Thornton's away. Thornton over the line. Chicago has 3 short-handed goals in the playoffs. Out in front, Sobel defends on Marleau. Taves tied up. A great second effort by Jonathan Taves away from Joe Pavelski. He gets it out.
Another example of that board work, that natural strength by Jonathan Taves.
Devin Setaguchi. Moving it by Ryan Clough. Legally in the trapezoid, Niemi. Jason Demers. Neutralized this way for Rob Blake. He'll send it across. Close in. On the wing, Malhotra. Good answer save by Niemi. Demers shot blocked. Going down. Patrick Sharp blocking that bid. Now Rob Blake thinks about it. Slap pass for Demers. Shoveled by Malhotra and blocked again in front. And back out to center ice.
Good bids on Niemi. He's standing strong in the blue paint.
He has all series, and he sees that one all the way. A shot taken by Rob Blake.
That one he saw. The Malhotra bid he may have seen as well, but that had a little extra heat on it. There's our Lexus goal cam view. Big bomb on Niemi. There's that push we're talking about, that very wide stance. From that standpoint, it reminds me of another Chicago Blackhawks great, Tony Esposito. Yeah. That very, very wide base. Mechanics have improved over time. Niemi's certainly strong from that squat position.
In the early days of the butterfly. Yep. Tony O.
Well, it started here really with Glenn Hall.
Yep. Out to center ice. Thornton. Marleau. Dropping it off. Seabrook is there. Up the wall. Cut off by Joe Thornton. Blocked by John Madden. Loose off the glass. The Hawks have an opportunity to get that puck out, and they do. Marian Hossa goes to work on Boyle. Off his stick. Hossa again. Lowe got there first. Danny Heatley losing control. Cleared ahead. Even terms on the ice. Same situation on the scoreboard. Game 3. Chicago leading this best of 7. Winning those 2 games in San Jose. Game 4 Sunday afternoon here. Hossa is offside. And they blow it dead at the San Jose line.
And they're off.
Look at Marian Hossa. He's struggling to find his offensive game. And here's what the Sharks have done a good job of. Taking games over and winning in the 3rd period.
Let's get a note from Carissa Thompson.
Well, guys, talking to San Jose assistant Trent Yanni, he said, you know, we got caught on some long shifts, which feeds their transition, adding we need to make 2 efficient passes, not just 1 long one. That's why they're getting caught up in the neutral zone. And he continued with coach speak, gentlemen, getting pucks to the net. But he was proud of the way that they've created more from their defense. But, you know, like he said, it's all about these last 20 minutes. And at this point, the last 16 and 40.
Yeah, I think sometimes that first pass north-south is the way to go against a team like Chicago if you have support. And what Trent Yanni's alluding to there is you might have to take the extra pass so you get that underneath support, and then you have numbers coming through the neutral zone. Otherwise, you have a guy in isolation, and that's when Chicago Blackhawks are at their best between the blue lines.
Here's their captain, Rob Blake, floating it in off the stick of Niemi. To the corner it goes. Ryan Close, Scott Nickel. Nickel now off the stick of Sopel. Shot taken by Ryan Close, deflects. Pavelski in back of the goal, trading places with Nickel. Across, Ken Huskins. Puck on edge, and it's blocked by Adam Burrish out to center ice.
Burrish with a boo-boo, banging his stick as he goes to the bench. That one stung him.
Burrish, a teammate of Joe Pavelski at the University of Wisconsin. Eager's in! Off the goalpost! Ben Eager. An unlikely goal-scoring chance for Chicago's 55, but he's played well tonight. Madden holding on to it. Good sweep check by Blake. Turning with it. Back to the point now. Heath's shot blocked on the way through off of Madden. And it's cleared out by Ryan Clough. Takes a heavy hit from John Madden, but again they get it deep. John Forsland, Darren Elliott, Carissa Thompson. United Center here in Chicago. Game 3. Western Conference Finals presented by Progressive Insurance. Here on Versus. Now Boyle. Shooting one. Denied by Niemi. Spits on a rebound. But he recovers. On the chance out in front. And it was Joe Thornton.
They're standing to salute Niemi, but Eager planks it off the long side iron. But here's why the fans were up and cheering. The first save was good. The second one better because that short little push. Left to right intact. No holes. And Joe Thornton didn't get much on it, but he did get to it.
Ball start off the face-off, Darren.
Well, that's a tough break for the San Jose Sharks. Jonesy talked about 12 out of 16 for Taves in the face-off circle. Overall, 70% through 40 minutes. A big advantage for the puck possession. Chicago Blackhawks, San Jose wants to win some face-offs here.
Joe Thornton will take this one against Dave Bolin. Bolin has been a thorn in his side throughout this series. McCreary looking at the clock, adjusting it. We're good to go.
Jumbo Joe just 3 out of 11. 3 out of 12.
There you go. Did the math very nicely.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now Versteeg pumps it out to center ice. Roland ahead for Ladd on the gallop. Nabokov away from him. Before checking by Ladd. Seabrook holding. Shooting one. Tipped wide. And Andrew Ladd, the pest, in front of Nabokov. Versteeg in the corner. Moving here on Logan Couture. Waiting the pass is Bolin. Out in front looking for Seabrook. Good defense that time. Setaguchi collapsing for San Jose. And it comes out to center. 2-on-1. Setaguchi and Thornton. His shot is blocked by Duncan Keith. And you see it come out to center. Andrew Ladd. David Bolin. At his side, Chris Versteeg. Versteeg back to the point. Walking. Keith. Shot taken. Swallowed by Nabokov. Conference Finals coverage continues this weekend on NBC. Tomorrow at 3 Eastern, the Canadiens look to build on their Game 3 win and tie the series with Philadelphia. Then on Sunday at 3 Eastern, right back here as Chicago takes on San Jose. We lace them up for Game number 4. Conference Finals on NBC.
Calm before the storm, maybe a little bit for the fans as they a little bit of a respite, sitting down.
Now moving deep is Sharp. No circle. Out in front. Unattainable pass intended for Patrick Kane. Wedged ahead by Chalmerson. It deflects out of play. The faceoff will be in neutral ice.
Lots of talk on both sides about establishing net presence, getting to the top of the crease, making life difficult for the goaltenders. Well, Kenny Nabokov, he's lived that. There's that face-off discrepancy. The big thing, it comes down to matter of degrees. You know, a game like this, closely played and hotly contested as it is.
Cleveland has now Holtra, Heatley, and Marlowe. The shot deflects wide of Niemi as it's cleared by Dustin Bufflin. Sharp, center zone, Kane, Campbell on the far side. Kane shot. Wide of Evgeny Nabokov. Danny Heatley. Dogged from behind by Dustin Bufflin. He'll go. Chicago penalty and a Shark power play when we come back. 13:52 left to go in this third period. Game 3 on Versus.
Passion.
Have a nice book club. I'll beat the game.
I'd like to think so, but...
Oh, here we go. So what's the story?
We were discussing the relationship of two women who were thrust together by war.
Ooh, thrusting. Okay, I'm with you.
A war neither of them understands.
Awesome. Good times. I love book club. I'd like to hear you read some words.
It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
So then do you like Little Women?
Yeah, I'm not too picky. No.
This weekend, I will not turn my backyard into a botanical wonderland.
I will simply feed the lawn.
I will just repaint the living room.
I will not start out fixing the shower.
And end up renovating the entire bathroom.
I will go to Ace.
So I can knock it out fast.
And then, I will read comic books.
The folks at Ace help you find what you need so you can get in, get help, and get on with your life. Right now, get a canopy chair for just $19.99 at Ace, the helpful place.
Papa John stopped by a cooking show to make his pizzas for a live audience.
Papa's in the house.
Everything we do, we just try to do it a little bit better.
Now create your own Papa John's pizza for just $10. Your recipe, our ingredients, all pizzas, even our signature specialties, just $10. Plus, Papa size your large pizza and make it 30% bigger for just $2 more. Order at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Well, the Sharks don't want to go away tonight without a fight. They have a power play chance now. Pavelski's shot screeches high over the top of the MA. Gloved by Nick Chalmerson off of Boland and carried out by John Madden. Dustin Bufflin has gone for tripping at 6:08.
Not the best penalty. In the neutral zone on Heatley.
Sharks gain entry. They've had it. They lose it. It's chipped ahead. Madden getting it from Boland. Moving on Dan Boyle. Thornton riding the ship, and now Pavelski. Over the line, he's in. Shovel pass broken up and cleared by Jonathan Toews. Take a look at the Sharks' power play in the last 5 games. Over 26%. 1 out of 4 tonight. Here's Boyle. Pavelski on Keith. Using the wall, getting it inside now for Clough. Clough sends it this way. Pavelski looks over his shoulder. Takes a pass, carries along. Joe Pavelski. Brent Seabrook for Chicago. Moving it by Dan Boyle and all the way back.
Excellent penalty kill thus far by the Blackhawks. Nothing set up by the Sharks.
Now a change for San Jose. Boyle handing off from Malhotra. Seabrook has control. Versteeg through center ice. Snaps it off the boards all the way back. 37 seconds as we see left to go in this power play. Malhotra, Devin Setoguchi. Going for the front, Jason Demers. Turned back by Clough. Moved in the slot by Setoguchi. Blocked by Boland. Hammered by Demers and blocked by Niemi.
Niemi gaining fans by the Legion with his play in this postseason. And saves like that snared it, but great box out by the defense. It was so subtle. They just allowed their goaltender a lane to pick up the puck.
Blake. Winning portion of the power play. Heatley advances, shoots one off of Marlowe. He attempts to get it back. Thornton going after it. The battle won by Madden, but not out. Blake inside it goes by Heatley. Brent Sokol deep in his own zone. Off a glass support out to center ice. Bufflin is up. Dustin Bufflin is back on the ice. Chicago kills it off. Dustin Bufflin. Is he onside? No, he's not.
And he's the happiest man in this building that Niemi and the penalty killers were so sharp. Because when you're 6'4", 257, and you take a tripping penalty in a 1-1 game in the third period, the neutral zone, you will draw the ire of that man. And he can throw some stink eye with the best of them.
You think?
Yes, I do.
Center ice now. Taves with Kane. Kane with a shot off the blocker of Nabokov. Bufflin takes a hit, but it's broken up by Joe Pavelski. Out come the Sharks. Torrey Mitchell moving up for a shot taken. Ryan Clough easily deflected by Antti Niemi. Let's revisit our Pizza Hut favorite matchup tonight.
7 of 13 is 24 even strength shifts. 6 in the second, getting more and more as the game goes on in terms of that matchup. 4 shots on goal, but the faceoffs tell a big story. No points, better yet. If you're Joel Quenneville, you're saying David Bolin, the Rat, as we found out.
Yeah.
Start calling him that, and really call him the Rat. And they say that enduringly. You make sure that those top players are taken out of their game, and so far, so good.
Joe Pavelski against Jonathan Taves on this draw. Dished out by Pavelski, loose to the walls we see, and here's Duncan Keith. Out to center ice, Boyle, Douglas Murray on the back end. Oh, it's fed ahead that time by Pavelski. Chicago organizing from their own zone. He's all the way back. Blackhawks directing traffic. Murray is there. Flushed out by Jonathan Taves. Ryan Clough moves it along. Crowd wanted a call, none provided. 10:55 left to go, regulation time. Tied at 1. We're in game number 3. First game we've had in Chicago in 10 days. The Hawks got it done on the road, and Vancouver stayed on the road and went all the way out to San Jose. Niemi makes the save on Devin Setaguchi. Joe Thornton in back of the goal. Nicholas Wallin sends it across. Kent Huskins. Huskins wristing one, tipped wide by Setaguchi. Campbell held in by Wallin. His shot wide of Antti Niemi. Moving up, Huskins. He'll trap the zone. Good play that time. It's centered in front. Setaguchi. What a save by Niemi. A great pass by Joe Thornton. Out of the corner. Thornton again in back of the goal now. Makes a move on Campbell. Stays with it. Joe Thornton. Devin Setaguchi. Good stick by Hossa. Huskins winds it off the wall. It's loose out in front. Thornton centers, intended for Setaguchi. Joe Thornton gets it back. Huskins. He keeps the zone. Thornton again. This way for Wallin. His shot easily caught by Antti Niemi. 9:52 left to go in this third period here in game 3.
This won't be human. Not entirely. You know I love you, don't you?
Splice. Rated R. Starts June 4th. Fast, loose, and as wild as it gets. Saturday night, May 22nd, the stars come out and the gloves come off for the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race on Speed. It's a winner-take-all dash for cash, and with $1 million on the line, it's checkers or records. The NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race, Saturday night at 7 Eastern, Channel 607.
Only on Speed.
Tonight, Versus brings you The Daily Line, a new breed of sports show that lets you get in on the action.
It is a huge night from the ice to the diamond to the NBA.
Covering the day's hottest topics. Score! The picks.
Love the over in this game.
And a bit of the unexpected. The Daily Line, tonight on Versus.
I'm Bill Patrick. Ahead on Hockey Central, presented by Bud Light. Keith Jones, Brian Engblom, and Darren McCarty join me. We'll have complete post-game coverage of this game, including highlights, analysis, interviews, and more. So stay with us immediately following the game. John?
All right, Bill, thanks very much. Back here in Chicago. 9:52 left in this third period. Malhotra and Madden on that faceoff. Shots are 12-3 San Jose in this third period. They have 35 in the game, 24 for Chicago. Patrick Marleau and Patrick Sharp have the goals. Scored both in the second period. 22,000 plus. Rocking the United Center. A penalty upcoming. Chalmerson back on it. San Jose back to the power play.
That face.
Chicago minor penalty number 36.
Tells you all you need to know. Bolin with the trip. Marleau upended as he was streaking down the right side. Bolin maybe stuck out his leg, at least left it there. That was the determination. Third minor for Bolin.
3 penalties by Chicago in this period. Hammer chance by Boyle, deflected out in front. Pavelski out of the corner. Joe Pavelski attempts a pass cut off by Marian Hossa. Brent Sofel now tries to clear, and he will, out to center ice. It's gloved ahead by Marleau. So we get a stoppage here. 9:07 left and 1:42 as we see left to go in this power play.
Well, the power play disparity leads to the shot disparity in the third period. But the other thing, if you didn't think the San Jose Sharks down 2-0 weren't going to come and bring it offensively, you haven't been paying attention. They really have had a strong showing here in the third period. But they're the team that's down 2-0. That's what you would expect.
And Boyle at the point. Good play by Jonathan Taves. Great skating by Patrick Marleau coming back. See it from ice level. Marleau will wind it up. It's a power play goal tonight for San Jose as Dan Boyle clears it in. Danny Heatley going after it, chipped by Sofel. Good play. And it's cleared out by John Madden,
who's had a strong game and a big impact with his experience on this Chicago Blackhawks team. Multiple Stanley Cup winner with the New Jersey Devils. He's been very vital here tonight. The fourth line has played an awful lot.
Yes, they have. Better than halfway through this power play. Jason Demers. Young puck-moving defenseman Manny Malhotra now dumps it in. Duncan Keith overskating it along the boards. Clough back for Blake. Rob Blake with a shot looking for a tip off the blocker of Niemi. Now it's played here by Demers. Jason Demers goes to work. Moving on Seabrook to the point. Malhotra is there from the wall. Setaguchi walks it, shoots it. Great save, Niemi. A loose puck. Seabrook takes a hit from Demers and clears it out.
Niemi has been spectacular in this third period.
Malhotra moving up on Keith. Off the stick of Duncan Keith. Sofel away from Malhotra. Another good play by Brent Sofel. And out she goes. Dave Bolland is up and ready. And he's back. And the crowd on their feet here in Chicago. Murray dumps it in. Hard around it goes Logan Couture. Inside, tripped up that time Heatley. Play will continue. Logan Couture. Inside. Hunted down. Played here. Played back along the boards. Getting away from Heatley. Now it's shot by Boyle. Breakaway possibly for Bolland. David Bolland walks in. He scores!
That got him drafted in the first place. London Knights, he played for the Hunter brothers. He plays a style that is reminiscent of that hard-nosed hockey family, but he has this place ecstatic with his open ice exploits.
Through the center zone, Thornton for Setaguchi. Dave Bolland, who's had a terrific playoff. He missed considerable time this season with a back injury. coming back late in the year, and now what an important piece for Chicago. Let's see some of the action around the net with our Mitchum protecting the crease segment.
In this third period, watch this push. That's the push we're talking about. He's low, he's compact, sturdy, but he's still able to get to the top of the crease on his haunches, but on his game. 35 saves in this one.
Fourth goal of the playoffs for David Bolin. They center one out in front. Jonathan Taves gets the assist. 13:05 is the time. Now in game 3, San Jose down by a goal in this one, down by 2 games in the series. Bufflin for Campbell. Campbell from well out, nullified by Rob Blake. Bufflin goes to work hard in the corner. It's loose, and the Sharks now clear ahead. In the center ice zone, Ryan Clough will chip it ahead. Patrick Sharp will reverse it off for Brian Campbell.
It's that puck possession game again. And the speed, don't forget, we always talk about transition game on offense. Chicago, to me, is the best team in the National Hockey League transitioning from offense back to defense.
In the center ice zone. Moving here, Sharp. Shoveling wide of Nabokov. Hossa ahead of Heatley. Marian Hossa, Troy Brouwer. Brouwer winding away from Boyle. Seabrook from well out, caught by Nabokov. He'll hang on. Oh, you dirty rat. That's what they call him. Dave Bolin, breakaway heroics in Chicago. More of game 3 as the bench loves it.
Tonight's menu on Versus is brought to you by Taco Bell's new $2 meal deal. It's 4 different meals to choose from, each with a Taco Bell original, Doritos chips, and a medium soda. It's the hat trick of meal deals, and it's only $2. Think outside the bun.
Exceptional taste, that's pure Amsterdam. Amstel Light, one damn good beer.
How do you spot the guys who always do a super job? Just look for a business with the Super Guarantee Shield. You'll get the job done right, or we'll help to make it right. Protect yourself with the Super Guarantee, only in the Super Yellow Pages.
Was it the number 7 train that carried his barrels across the land? Or was 7 simply his lucky number? Some say there were 7 women in his life, but one held a special place in his heart. Truth is, only Jack Daniel knows the true meaning of old number 7. And we won't be hearing from him anytime soon.
Introducing new Pennzoil Ultra, a revolutionary synthetic oil that takes clean where it's never been before. Nothing keeps your engine closer to factory clean.
The Stanley Cup playoffs on Versus are brought to you by Radio Shack. The Shack and Lance power the mobile universe. And by Touch of Gray. Gets rid of some gray, never all.
Western Conference Finals, presented by Progressive Insurance here on Versus. Patrick Marleau off of Brent Seabrook. Dave Bolin has just electrified the crowd here at the United Center with a tie-breaking goal, breakaway goal. Scored just moments ago. He'll fish it by Marleau and go after it. Douglas Murray is back for San Jose, and it's whistle dead. Bud Light. Impact player, Mr. Elliott, take it away.
A lot of good performances, but 2 assists, blocks the shot in the lane, leads to the breakaway, 25 points, leads everybody in the 2010 playoffs, 12-game point streak, a franchise record, passing Stan Mikita on his birthday nonetheless. I would say that's an impact performer tonight.
Absolutely. Judged as the best forward at the Olympics, gold medal, Team Canada. Right now, we're talking about a Conn Smythe, Jonathan Taves.
You know what? He wears number 19, and think of all the great 19s. Started with maybe with Ryan Trottier, Yzerman, Sakic. You could add number 19, Jonathan Taves, to that list.
At the tender age of 22, Rob Blake is back on it. Icing is called here. 4:30 left to go in regulation time.
That's a savvy crowd right there. They're booing the circuitous route that the veteran Blake took to make sure that stayed an icing call. There's Jonathan Toews, wise beyond his years, forced to take another key defensive zone faceoff.
Thornton wins the draw. Shot taken from the point. Pinballs around. Heatley's chance. Shoveled in. Patrick Marleau gets it done. And San Jose has tied it.
And the boos cascading for the goal. But also because of the icing that led to the face-off chance. And because it was icing, you couldn't change your personnel. Toews was on his wrong side. He wasn't on his strong side. He tried to win it. And he didn't. And again, outnumbering, out-battling. Patrick Marleau is on fire. Heatley put it to the spot. But Marleau ties the knot here. 2-2.
Second goal tonight for Patrick Marleau. 15:37 the time. As he had Thornton, Heatley, and Marleau together. And they get it done. Now it's laid ahead. Marleau from the corner. Moved off. Patrick Sharp out to center ice. Hossa, a foot race with Malhotra. Hossa goes down. Play will continue. Madden. Hammered by Campbell. Caught by Nabokov. And play comes to a halt.
Good save by Nabokov. But here's the race. That's a good no call. That's a puck battle. Look at where Nabokov is, way out in front of the traffic. The locals wanted a call there, but Hossa was drawing the contact as much as Boyle. I like the no call. Let them play hockey. And Nabokov got way out before there could be any traffic in front.
Marleau, his count now up to 7 goals in the playoffs. Back to the point. Scott Nickel moving on Brian Campbell. Nickel with a shot from well out, easily handled by Antti Niemi. Let's take a look at the schedule for this series as it will move along. Sunday on NBC, 3 Eastern. Game 5 if necessary in San Jose. Tuesday night, 8:30 Eastern. Everything else 6 and 7 if needed right here on Versus.
Fabulous series. Top 2 seeds in the Western Conference. And I think they're showing why they earned those rankings. And they're showing here. I mean, I've been very impressed with the San Jose Sharks.
Danny Heatley, the panel down for Antti Niemi. Heatley and Boyle helped out on the goal by Marleau, which has tied it. Now John Madden all the way across off the stick of Douglas Murray. Back to play it. Coming away from Kane and Toews, and now it's Heatley. Danny Heatley out to center. 3:25 left in regulation time. Mitchell stays on side. Heatley tries to go right by Sokol. Dug out by Torrey Mitchell. Back to the point man, Kent Huskins. The wipe it ahead is broken up by Toews. Kane, cherry picking. Tries to move in. Pauline gets back. Good play by Nick Pauline. Back of the goal now, Dustin Byfuglien. They'll wheel a cycle. It's missed by Kane. Pauline with Boland in his face. Along the walls, Setaguchi starts his engine. This way for Joe Thornton. Thornton over the line. In front for Setaguchi. Off the stick of Logan Couture. Now along the boards, Thornton back to the point. Blake shot off of Boland wide. Getting to it is Patrick Kane. Away from Joe Thornton out to center. He gets it from Vlasic. He's in. Joe Thornton cutting. A loose puck. Setaguchi tries to make a move on Keith. Devin Setaguchi goes to work. Punched a bit by Seabrook. A loose puck. Back of the goal now. Off of Niemi. The net off the pegs. And McCurry whistles it dead.
Patrick Marleau doing everything he possibly can. In this one, great vision to pounce on it. And this time, they just had the flippers on either post. And it came to his spot. And he was quick to pounce and tie this one up. 7 straight playoff games with a point. 2 goals in this one, 2 goals in the last game.
At the center ice. Wheeled ahead this time by Hossa. And Boyle hard around for Ryan Clough. Out to center ice. Marleau fishes deep. Niemi Plays it by Chalmerson. Ryan close, spins it, blocked in front by Brian Campbell. Out they come. Troy Brouwer. Will dump and chase. Move it by his opposite number, Dan Boyle. Murray is back for the Sharks. Douglas Murray plays it along the boards. Ryan Clough looking for the puck, and again it comes back.
The Blackhawks have been impressive as well as the number 2 seed in the Western Conference with their skill, but the gumption, the stick-to-itiveness of the Sharks. Important down 2-0.
He's upended Darren, and now it's played by Chris Versteeg. Classic up the wall. Snap, loose out in front. Ladd going after it. Andrew Ladd turns, holds onto it. Inside for David Boland. Now Versteeg, defended by Danny Heatley. Versteeg given a shove by Blake. A loose puck as we see. And it's touched with a high stick, gained by Chicago. We get a whistle. The Stanley Cup playoffs continue on Versus Monday at 7 Eastern. The Canadiens seek to continue their offensive explosion. The Eastern Conference Finals return to Philadelphia for Game 5. Then, should this series go to a Game 5, back in San Jose we are. Tuesday night, 9 Eastern. Kickoff each night with the Amway Global Hockey Central pregame report at 6:30 on Monday, 8:30 on Tuesday. The Eastern and Western Conference Finals presented by Progressive right here on Versus. 40 shots for San Jose, 27 Chicago. It's dumped in. 68 seconds left in regulation time. Antti Niemi out to play it. Moved along for Brent Seabrook. Jonathan Toews engaged by Joe Thornton. Under a minute left in this third period. Keith Toews over the line, goes wide on Blake. Holds onto it, delays a bit. Down low, centering one off Nabokov, worked wide by Seabrook. And now Marc-Edouard Vlasic by Joe Thornton, neutral ice. Seabrook paired with Keith. He'll hinge ahead. They gain entry, it's Kane. Kane with a shot, just wide of Nabokov, who had the angle. 29 seconds left in regulation. Malhotra, Manny Malhotra, out to center. It's a good skater, moving up here on Sopel. Shot taken wide of Niemi. Sopel got a piece of it. Now the Sharks keep the zone. Malhotra goes in deep. Spinning off the hit at center. Here's Marleau. His shot caught by Niemi.
The puck is following Patrick Marleau right now. This was just a puck that bounded up to the top of the circle, and there was Marleau. He's just reading the play, mirroring it, gets to it, nobody on him, gets another bid on goal.
John Madden, Patrick Marleau on the draw, 10.2 on the clock. Tied at 2 in Game 3. Now it's cleared out to center ice. Assaulted away. And we will go to overtime in game number 3. Tied at 2 here in Chicago. Patrick Marleau is the hero for now, as his goal has tied it here late. What a game this has been. We'll get you to Hockey Central after the break. Game 3 heads to overtime, tied at 2 in Chicago on Versus.
Come on, back it up. It's the third time this month. What happened this time?
Number 1, ice is slippery. Number 2, this thing wasn't calibrated before I drove it.
Yeah, same dasher board, same excuse.
Ask Mike Green. He was on the ice the whole time. Tell him, Mike.
Guys, he drove straight into it, and I'm pretty sure he yelled bullseye.
He's just kidding. We need a second opinion.
Today's the day you went from dude to dad, and you want everyone you know to see. So here's your moment of truth. Which 3G network would you trust to upload your very first shots to PhotoBucket?
Hey, look.
When you want your 3G network to work,
What's your email?
You want Verizon. Right now, you can get great deals on 3G and messaging phones like the Samsung Reality for $49.99, plus add-a-line for just $9.99, only at Verizon.
So what do you think?
We need his experience.
Yeah, but he has more energy.
Now you can get the best of both. Try Touch of Gray. Combs away a little gray without getting rid of it all.
I've got big plans for you.
Touch of Gray.
Pizza Hut pizzas are just $10 each, so we could get all the kids at our son's sleepover their favorite.
Not sure why it's called a sleepover.
Yeah.
Any pizza at Pizza Hut is just $10. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings, only $10. Only at your Pizza Hut.
What is iPad? iPad is thin. iPad is beautiful. iPad goes anywhere and lasts all day. There's no right way or wrong way. It's crazy powerful. It's magical. You already know how to use it. It's 200,000 apps and counting. All the world's websites in your hands. It's video, photos, more books than you could read in a lifetime. It's already a revolution, and it's only just begun.
You're coming towards turn 1 at over 230 miles an hour.
We're going so fast that turn 2 is already finishing. You're like, come on, I just entered turn 1.
It's a long, fast left-hand corner.
And as you exit that corner, there's a real big bump there.
Keep the wheel straight. Hard right.
Down to the white line on the apex, close to the wall on the exit.
And hopefully you come out on the other side to finish the rest of the lap.
Stanley Cup Hockey Central on Versus is presented by Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
And welcome to this Stanley Cup Hockey Central presented by Bud Light, and welcome to the first overtime game in the playoffs since Philadelphia played Boston in Game 4 exactly 2 weeks ago. Bill Patrick, Keith Jones, Brian Engblom, Darren McCarty here. Let's show you how we got to this point as we head to the extra frame. Oh, there's some talent in the building, boys and girls. Vince Vaughn, Kevin James.
First period early in, you watch David Bolin with a shot, and then he bumps the block out just a little bit to draw a penalty early on. Joe Pavelski coming down, shot by Marleau, and oh, looks like it's in. Looks like he's got a goal, but as Jonesy said, if you don't make it, you better fake it. He kicked it in, so they can't allow it. Disallowed goal 0-0 after the first.
That's what we've been doing all year. Second period, Patrick Marleau on the 5-on-3 power play. That's him with the puck. He shoots it high. The rebound will come back out. Pavelski gets it to Marleau. Marleau buries it in the top shelf. It's 1-0 San Jose. Still in the second on the power play for the Chicago Blackhawks. Patrick Sharp, who comes through for them in so many ways. 7th goal of the playoffs for him. That ties it up 1-1. Evgeny Nabokov with some help from Rob Blake. Marian Hossa is absolutely robbed. Look at Hossa looking up in the air there. And then Antti Niemi with a big stop on Ryan Clough. As a matter of fact, 2 quick shots he stopped.
Third period. Chicago blocked shot by Jonathan Taves. David Bolin off to the races. Beautiful move here around Nabokov. He buries it. His 4th of the playoffs puts the Blackhawks up 2-1 late in the game. Chicago excited, looking to go up 3-0 in the series, but not so fast off the face-off in the offensive zone. Danny Heatley does a good job getting it to net. Patrick Marleau does a great job putting it in the net. His 7th of the playoffs, ties it up at 2-2.
Another word on Patrick Marleau. He has scored the last 4 San Jose goals dating back to Game 2. 2-2 the score. The end of regulation in Game 3. Another look at the goal that tied it by Marleau. And we are headed to overtime in Chicago.
It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Crunch time, Wheat Thins. Right here, right now. Hiding amongst your friends won't help you. You and your tasty whole grain. This can only end one way. Wheat Thins, toasted, whole grain, crunch. The crunch is calling.
Good job. Keep going.
You took my egg.
It's an egg management fee.
What does that even mean?
Egg management fee.
Even kids know it's wrong to take other people's stuff. That's why at Ally Bank, we offer rates among the most competitive in the country that won't get eaten away by fees. It's just the right thing to do.
For graduation, we gave identical twins gift cards from very unidentical stores. Let's see what happens.
Gift card.
Yeah, spend some money, dude.
Gift card.
Let's check out some laptops.
Oh, yes.
Go, 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 go. Nice. And check this out. You can stream it right to your TV. Yeah, get it in there. Get it in there.
I'll take it.
Class is in session. Supernova.
Technology is so cute.
This graduation, give them something they'll actually need. Give them a gift card from Best Buy.
Someone named Terry says I need you right now.
You say what? Oh.
Need a moment? Now try Twix Java, made with coffee-flavored caramel and crunchy chocolate cookie.
Terry, my boss.
Oh. Chew it over with Twix Java.
Tonight, Versus brings you The Daily Line, a new breed of sports show that lets you get in on the action.
It is a huge night from the ice to the diamond to the NBA.
Covering the day's hottest topics. Score! The picks.
Love the over in this game.
And a bit of the unexpected. The Daily Line, tonight on Versus.
Lose the pack.
Lose the indecision. Lose the mistakes. Lose the doubt.
Lose the fear. Win the race.
And welcome back to Hockey Central. We are on the verge of overtime in Game 3 in Chicago. Okay, Jonesy, icing calls. Some people might think, no big deal, just a stoppage in play. Well, in this case, big deal.
Yeah, a huge deal. Chicago up 2-1 late in this game, and they get called for icing. Dustin Byfuglien, the forward, is right up near the red line, but he's on the wrong side of it. There he deflects that puck in front of Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Rob Blake, the veteran, gets back in time to get the icing call. Take a good look at Dustin Byfuglien's stick. He's on the other side of the red line. Great call by the linesman. Icing, the proper call, and on the ensuing face-off, back to the point, to the front of the net, and Patrick Marleau puts it in to tie the score with 4:24 left in the third period. A terrific job by San Jose on taking advantage of an opportunity presented to them. Faceoffs have been San Jose's strength all season long. Not so much in this game. Chicago dominating, but San Jose wins the one that was the most important to extend this game and send it to overtime.
And Patrick Marleau had a terrific regular season, scored a lot of goals for the Sharks, and he's scored the last 4 goals for them now in this series. He's coming through huge for them in this game again. On the power play, the first one was a 5-on-3. He's at the top of your screen. That shot went over the net. That's Marleau. Watch him seize the opportunity, move in at exactly the right time, and he goes upstairs. That's the key. Then he's at the top of your screen again. It's a scramble situation off the face-off. They got it to the front of the net. Again, he got the puck up in the air. He's been smart enough, and smarter than a lot of his colleagues on the Sharks, to get the puck up off the first 1.5 feet or so of the ice and get it in the net. Patrick Marleau over the last couple of years has been criticized equally as much as Joe Thornton. He has come through big for them. He's got 7 goals in the playoffs so far, and he's got a handful of assists to go along with it. I think Marleau has done more than his fair share. He's done a terrific job here, and they'll be relying on him on the overtime here as well.
Indeed they will. And Darren, we've been talking about Evgeny Nabokov, and he's played very, very well in this game. But until that goal by Marleau, Antti Niemi was looking like a superhero.
Oh, he definitely played really well. He's had 39 saves so far. He has 18 in the third period. But it's like what we talked about before the beginning of the playoffs. The Chicago goaltenders, when it was either going to be Huet or Niemi, just couldn't lose games for him. Well, he struggled at home recently, but he's definitely gained a lot of confidence. Watch his feet, watch his lateral movement. He seems very confident in his ability right now, and looks like if Chicago wins tonight, he's going to be a big reason for it. So I like what you said, Bryce. San Jose thinks they have a shot. They're going to have to get that puck up on him.
And Jonesy, the Blackhawks are doing what's necessary to try and win this game and take a 3-0 lead. They lead in block shots 20-10.
Yeah, they've been really good in that department, especially when San Jose had a couple of power plays in the third period. David Boland's had a tough night as far as heading to the penalty box. Not so tough in scoring a big goal in this period. But watch Chicago getting in front of pucks. San Jose getting opportunities, and the Blackhawks laying out and blocking. Burris with a big block right there. David Boland gets down and blocks that one. And then Jonathan Toews with the biggest block of the period sends David Boland on the breakaway. Boland ends up putting that puck in the net, and for a few moments giving the Chicago Blackhawks the lead. Shot blocking so important. Chicago 20 in this game, San Jose 10, but it's the Blackhawks that have got the job done in that department throughout, and little things going a long way for both teams as we move forward in this game.
As we take a break, a couple of numbers to throw at you. Speaking of overtime, San Jose in these playoffs is 3-1 in overtime. Chicago 1-0. That one happened nearly a month ago against Nashville.
Stanley Cup Hockey Central on Versus is presented by Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
John stopped by a cooking show to make his pizzas for a live audience.
Papa's in the house.
Everything we do, we just try to do it a little bit better.
Now create your own Papa John's pizza for just $10. Your recipe, our ingredients, all pizzas, even our signature specialties, just $10. Plus, Papa size your large pizza and make it 30% bigger for just $2 more. Order at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
With livestock, it's a 7-day-a-week, 12-month job.
There's basically no off time. I'm always on.
Some days we're here until 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then do it all over again.
We don't take breaks or anything like that. We eat standing up, we drink standing up. We just go right through until we're done, and then we go home.
The Dawson foul, tell me about it.
Yeah, the closing's in Boston.
Okay.
So get your game face on.
It's on.
Happy birthday! All right.
Guys never change. Neither do we. Jim Beam, the bourbon since 1795.
Fast, loose, and as wild as it gets. Saturday night, May 22nd, the stars come out and the gloves come off for the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race on Speed. It's a winner-take-all dash for cash, and with $1 million on the line, it's checkers or records. The NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race, Saturday night at 7 Eastern, Channel 607.
Only on Speed.
Tonight's Stanley Cup Overtime is presented by Las Vegas. When the clock ends, the party begins. Only Vegas. Overtime guaranteed.
NHL Stanley Cup Western Conference Finals presented by Progressive Insurance on Versus. We go to overtime in Chicago. Tied at 2 in Game 3, and here is how we have gotten to this place as 2 goals were scored in rapid fashion in that third period.
David Bolin on a breakaway, but they're here with a moment. Patrick Marleau. It's been Marleau or bust in terms of offense for the Sharks the last 2 games. He has the last 4 goals for the San Jose Sharks.
Career playoff overtime winners. Nick Pauline, 3 of those scored with Carolina. Marleau, Pavelski, Setaguchi. San Jose has won 3 games in the playoffs in overtime, dropping 1. Chicago, Marian Hossa had the game winner, their only overtime game in the playoffs so far, against Nashville in round 1. Madhouse on Madison. Yeah. United Center. 22,000 plus have loved this game. Chicago with a chance to take a stranglehold on this series with a win in overtime. San Jose attempting to climb back after losing the first 2 on home ice. Joe Thornton, Logan Couture, Devin Setaguchi for Todd McClellan in San Jose. Dave Bolin's line is out for Chicago. See the overtime records. The Stanley Cup playoffs on both sides. Brent Seabrook, his partner is Duncan Keith. He's guarded by young Logan Couture. Now Seabrook will dump it off a stick off Thornton. Andrew Ladd will shovel it in. Dan Boyle is back, sidestepping the brunt of Chris Versteeg's hit, and now Setaguchi. Ice cut in half by Andrew Ladd, so he gets it deep. Niemi, who's played well, awaits it from the trapezoid. Cut off by Joe Thornton. Thornton down low, goes to work, attempts to at least away from Seabrook. He centers all the way back for Blake. Shooting one. on wide of Niemi. Along the boards now, Danny Heatley, broken up by Brent Seabrook. D to D they go. Duncan Keith out to center ice. Elevated pass, offside. Laden Hossa.
Hossa with the one overtime game winner, as you mentioned, John, was a half a step away for Joel Quenneville's squad of streaking down that right side in alone. I think Andrew Ladd put the playoff side with the one little handle at the blue line. Good break for the Sharks because they were in no position to defend.
Malhotra. Patrick Marleau has both San Jose goals. He's out there now. Along with Danny Heatley, Pauline. Huskins on the back end. Campbell, Chalmerson for Chicago. Sharp, Hossa, and Troy Brouwer. This is Patrick Sharp with one tonight. Shot taken off the stick of Evgeny Nabokov. Now Chalmerson attempts to trap the zone. Long pass by Marleau intended for Malhotra. Marian Hossa's in. Brouwer for the front. Shot wide of Nabokov. He'll cover and a heavy collision.
That's a big man. That's Brouwer. Sending everybody scurrying. Patrick Marleau, 3 career playoff hat tricks. And that act of being in the National Hockey League, that act of the postseason play as Johan Franzen and the Detroit Red Wings ousted by Marleau and the Sharks.
In 5 games, previous series, Taves, Kane, Buffalo, McClellan, and Pavelski, Torrey Mitchell, Ryan Clough on the ice. Jonathan Taves set a record tonight. Stan Mikita's old record. Consecutive games with a point in the playoffs. 12 straight now. For Chicago's number 19 through center ice. Goes by Brian Campbell. Joe Pavelski going after it. A good look. Campbell from the corner. Lays it out to the center zone. Manned and turned back by Dan Boyle. Marc-Edouard Vlasic will dump it in. Sopel back for Chicago. This is icing, of course. A mock cheer because of the situation that occurred in the 3rd period.
We said it's a matter of degrees. A very astute hockey audience here in Chicago. Look at Ryan Clough. Lots of times it's guys like that who come through in overtime. They have to do it with defensive posture first, but yeah, the goal was led to.
Heath now looks for a tip. Eager. Ben Eager. Adam Burish defended by Joe Pavelski. John Madden gets in the way. Dan Boyle reverses the flow. A bit of a tight turn, and now he wheels away for Ryan Clough. Through center ice. Close in. Numbers back for Chicago. Easily fended off by Niemi. Along the boards, Ben Eager. Met there by Devin Setaguchi. Setaguchi throws it across. Boyle called for it. He'll settle it down. Joe Thornton and Niemi. This way for Devin Setaguchi. Patted down by Niemi. Seabrook not out. Held in by Boyle. Douglas Murray. Lumbers ahead. Blocked by Brent Seabrook. Seabrook has control. Dave Boland out to center ice. The Sharks now reorganized. Douglas Murray will hammer it in. Down the boards it goes, and Logan Couture will get it ahead for Setaguchi. Ended off that time by Duncan Keith. Chicago out to center ice. What a hit! Joe Thornton lays out Andrew Ladd. Now the Hawks recoil.
That's a payback for a big hit. Ladd dished out on Thornton to start the 2nd period.
Seabrook shot, fumbled, but hung on to by Evgeny Nabokov.
Hockey players, John, have long memories.
Wow.
That's a nice, clean hit. Thornton sees who it is, takes a good angle, steps around for Stieg. Ladd didn't see it, and a nice little hit by Boland. A little bit of a payback, but Joe Thornton feels pretty good about himself. Finishing off that one.
Sharp, Brouwer, and Hossa for Joel Quenneville. Face-off win by Manny Malhotra. Malhotra. The wingers are Heatley and Marleau. Brouwer wins a battle. Troy Brouwer cuts on Blake. Trading places with Nick Chalmerson. To the point he goes, and he'll deliver a pass. Played and moved along by Nabokov. Sopel with a pinch. Good job by Marleau. Along the boards, and back it comes. Patrick Marleau, a steal with a shot wide of Niemi. Marleau looking for the hat trick. He centers one. And Sopel got back. Marleau again from the corner. In a battle with Brent Sopel. Sharp lends a helping hand. Sopel's down. Gloved by Sharp. You can do that legally in the defensive zone. Play will continue, and it will. Chalmerson on the tape of Patrick Sharp, and away we go. Sharp through center with Hossa. Sharp tries to tangle through Fowleen. Nothing doing. Out to center ice. Seabrook moves it across for Duncan Keith. Early in overtime, number 1. Here's Dustin Bufflin. They gain entry. Kane goes down. Crowd wants a call, none provided. Winding it up for San Jose, Torrey Mitchell. Here's Joe Pavelski. Shooting one, blocked. A loose puck. Keith, a good job defensively. Dustin Bufflin starts his engine. He'll drop it off for Duncan Keith, going wide. Shot taken, patted down. Rebound for Bufflin. Good job by Clough coming back. In the corner now. Bufflin goes to work. Kane hands it off for Taves. Here's Keith. Turning with it, Jonathan Taves. Now Patrick Kane for Chicago. Moving on Ryan Clough. Taves for Keith. His shot goes wide. Bufflin, the screen out in front. Now it's Torrey Mitchell. Along the boards, out to center ice. Chicago now coming back. Seabrook and Taves. Through center. Kane moving up. Shoveling it through the D. Caught by Nabokov.
The close calls at both ends. Good defense by Clough on the back check. There's a forward, Troy Brouwer, in a defensive posture. A defenseman never makes that play. Off the webbing by Niemi. Marleau had a chance to end it there. Brouwer, the spinorama up the boards. If you play defense for a living, you never make that play without looking. He's a forward back in that situation.
For Brest, here come the Sharks. Thornton, shot taken. Malhotra wide of Niemi. Chalmerson away for Ladd. Through center Versteeg along with Bolin. Chris Versteeg with a shot blocked by Vlasic. To the corner they go. Marc-Edouard Vlasic tries to clear Versteeg. Andrew Ladd out in front. Off Nabokov. Versteeg hunts it down. Ladd in front is down. He gets back up. Bolin ahead of Malhotra. To the point, Chalmerson. He'll wipe it ahead. Ladd let it go for Versteeg. Chris Versteeg holding on to it. Nicholas Chalmerson turning. Versteeg. Shot. Stopped. Covered by Nabokov.
And don't forget, that's the Bolin line with Versteeg and Ladd. That's the checking line. And this is why they're so effective. Nabokov, brilliant. Watch this. Ladd says, I'll just put my head down and get crushed. But it leads to a chance. And then the cycle play. An aerial from the point deflected down. Beautiful save by Nabokov, but what a shift by Andrew Ladd. And don't forget, that's an answer. That's a shift after being laid out in the neutral zone by Joe Thornton.
That's right. Colleen or Marleau. Seabrook in his own zone. Hossa ahead for Sharp. Huskins. Colleen back out to center ice. Keith is back. Duncan Keith. Center zone, Sharp. Cruising in, eager shot, turned off by Nabokov. Marleau takes a hit, makes a play. Danny Heatley in the neutral area. Kent Huskins will dump it in. Keith ahead of Nickel. Finishing hit by Nickel on him. Heatley goes to work, but he turns it over to Duncan Keith. He reverses the flow back, and you see Brent Seabrook, who sends it right back for Keith. Just about 7 minutes gone in overtime. It deflects, it goes in the Chicago bench. We get a stoppage.
We talked about the amount of minutes that Duncan Keith has accumulated throughout the postseason. 27 minutes average, over 31 in this game. And that's, you'd think would wear on you eventually, but the one thing about guys like that, they seem to thrive on more ice, and they know how to pace themselves, find that glide time.
Along the boards now, Ryan Clough. Fished out by Blake. We're looking at Pavelski on Chalmerson. He'll button hook. Delay. Shoot one, blocked by Chalmerson. Kane. Busting up. Patrick Kane moving on Vlasic. He'll delay. Patrick Kane throws it across for Keith. He'll settle it down. Bufflin steered wide. Along the boards now, turning is Kane. Bufflin had it, he lost it. Pavelski. Waiting the pass is Ryan Clough. Clough on Sokol. Ryan Clough goes to work. Pulls up. San Jose in the process of a line change. Douglas Murray. He'll send it in. 43 shots for San Jose, 33 Chicago. From the wall, they send it in. Thornton, one-timer. Boyle, blocked. Good block by Adam Burrish. Here come the Hawks. Versteeg with Madden. Going wide. Chris Versteeg has Burrish out in front. He'll wind to cycle. Good job by Versteeg. Punched ahead by Duncan Keith. John Madden draped over him. Douglas Murray. Madden turns. Hands it off for Burrish. He's defended by Marlowe. Good read by Madden. Madden out in front. Stick lifted. Versteeg out in front. Boyle. The stick check on him. And now Thornton gets it in.
And that was a move in overtime. You put an offensive player on your fourth line. Versteeg out there with Madden and Burrish. For that very reason, you're still trying to score in this situation.
Logan Couture. Couture over the line, cuts. Moving up Huskins. His shot goes high. Malhotra out in front. And it rolls back out to center ice. Ladd in the skates of Brouwer. Turned back by Logan Couture. And fed in by Malhotra. Danny Heatley cuts on Keith. Leaves it there. Brouwer for Chicago. Moving it by Heatley out to center ice. 9 minutes gone in overtime. Logan Couture over the line. Shooting one, deflected wide by Keith. Center. Here's Vlasic holding onto it. His shot through traffic wide. Sharp, top of your screen. Handles out to center ice. Patrick Sharp. He's flying. His shot. Stop on Nabokov. Blake out to center. The Sharks go to work. Jamie McKinn had it. He lost it. McKinn going after it. Carried in by Hossa. His shot deflects off Blake and wide. McKinn lays it along the boards, trying to clear. They do. Jamie McKinn, a good job. Pavelski now this way. Carried in the zone by Torrey Mitchell. Spinning off Sharp. McKinn again. McKinn goes to work. Grinding a cycle. Move it by Torrey Mitchell. Nick Chalmerson has control. Hossa. Moving up on Boyle. Across for Sharp with Kane. They cross. They're onside. Fancy move by Kane. Patrick Kane. Gets it inside for Marian Hossa. He'll protect the puck. Grind away. Kane goes to work. Cutting out in front. Nabokov says no. And he melts it down.
Fantastic goaltending. Fabulous action. Locals loving it. At one end, Nabokov. At the other end, Huskins rips it off the forehead of Niemi. Good move by Kane. He gets around McKinn, but not the flat paddle move of Nabokov. Now that's tracking the puck right there, folks. In this super slow-mo, you saw Nabokov make the play, but follow the puck. The bouncing puck in that case.
The only break you get in overtime is now. They clean up the ice. You see the career playoff overtime record for a guy who had tremendous pressure on his shoulders coming in.
He did. Great performance, and he's showing a much better disposition in these playoffs and in playoffs past in terms of putting bad performances and bouncing back. He did it in a conference quarterfinal. Pretty much spot on against, although he had the one big game against the Detroit Red Wings where he got lit up. But
he put it behind him.
And he did. And that 4 goals on 22 shots on home ice in game 2. Todd McClellan wanted more from his goaltender. Can't ask anything more from his netminder tonight. He's been fantabulous.
And Todd McClellan has done a good job juggling his players around tonight, too.
Both these coaches, excellent. I mean, it's the same. I mean, the referees are out there based on merit. The coaches getting the most out of their players. And they're showing some of the reasons why their teams have gotten this far. Yes, the talent assembled is good, but these two guys, Quenneville and McClellan, 2 of the best in the business, in my opinion. I just love the way they let their guys get it done, but they're always looking for that little edge.
John Forsland, Darren Elliott, Carissa Thompson. Western Conference Finals presented by Progressive Insurance. Out to center ice, Joe Thornton. He'll send it deep, hard around this way. Malhotra through the goal crease. Thornton. Logan Couture shot wide of Niemi. Thornton again. All the way across, Douglas Murray. His bid stopped by Niemi. Rebound chance stopped again. Antti Niemi on Devin Setaguchi.
Impressive display of net minding. Watch the way Niemi goes, reads, down, and then does the scoot on Sedeguchi. Nice angle taken as well, John, and I know you'll appreciate this with your son, Matthew, being a goaltender. He took this short angle to the post, shut down the short side, and hit him right in the logo.
Face off. Fought for. Marlowe is there looking for the hat trick. Denied. Marian Hossa's away. He'll move it by Huskins. Nabokov. Nick Pauline. Good pass. Out they come. Maybe a lane for Patrick Marlowe. Dropping it off for Huskins. Good stick check by Madden. Sopel. Pickpocketed by Marlowe. Marlowe goes to work. Here's Heatley. Danny Heatley's shot. Deflected by Sopel. Chalmerson moves it off. Sopel. Sharp now. Hossa. Great hand-eye. His shot. A wonderful save by Nabokov. Wow. Out to center we go. Torrey Mitchell. Joe Pavelski, crunched by Seabrook. He shakes it off, walks in front. Here's a chance. They fight for it, and it's covered by Niemi.
There was Klo in close quarters. Pavelski forces it. Marlowe off the faceoff, right to the paint. At the other end, just a long-range frisbee. Out of the pile, surprising Nabokov, but he kicked out that left pad brilliantly. Both netminders putting on a show here.
46 shots for San Jose, 36 Chicago. 8:39 left in overtime. Boland wins the faceoff. Keith, defended by Logan Couture. Now, in the corner, Seabrook ties up his man. It's Sedeguchi. Thornton. Couture, off the paddle of Niemi. Seabrook. Verlad. Moving up on Boyle. Ending on a clear in, it goes deep. Douglas Murray back to get it. Shaking off Ladd without problem. Logan Couture. Sedeguchi now feeds ahead, cut off by Duncan Keith. At the line, taking a swat at it, Ladd. He'll move it back. 12 minutes gone in overtime. Here at the United Center, Game 3. Chicago leads the best of 7, 2 games to none. Boland. For Kane. Patrick Kane goes to work. He stops. Shoots one. Denied by Nabokov. Bufflin has control. Setting up Kane. All the way across. Keith. Tough angle. Hit goes high and wide. Held in by Campbell. Downstairs for Boland. Out in front Bufflin. And he scores! Dustin Bufflin wins it in overtime.
They call him Big Buff because of his girth. Well, they can call him Big Buff because of the big goals he's scoring. 4 straight games, this one in overtime, and he kept the play alive originally with a rebound, like a guy in the low post in basketball. Bufflin controlled the puck, reset the play, cycled out high, and then, man, did he hit his shot. 25 feet out, nothing Nabokov could do. They have no answer for Dustin Bufflin.
12:24 of overtime. Dustin Bufflin is the hero of Game 3, and here it is.
And who was on the feed? The defensive guy, the Rat. The Rat and Big Buff. Go figure. And nothing the Sharks could do. Bufflin with the celebration. Boland with the deft feed. And it makes the water bottle up off the net. Roof up off the building. Everybody on their feet.
A madhouse on Madison. The roof has come off this beautiful building. Chicago has a commanding lead, 3 games to none in this best of 7. After the break, we check in with Stanley Cup Hockey Central. For Darren Elliott and Carissa Thompson, I'm John Forsland. The Hawks win it in overtime. Good night from Chicago.
Once there was a sad stretch of road where drivers just couldn't stop in time. But along came the Michelin Man, who reminded them The right tire changes everything. With better tires in place, that sad stretch of road wasn't so sad anymore. Michelin Hydro Edge tires stop up to 14 feet shorter. Michelin, a better way forward.
This weekend, I will not turn my backyard into a botanical wonderland.
I will simply feed the lawn.
I will just repaint the living room.
I will not start out fixing the shower.
And end up renovating the entire bathroom.
I will go to Ace.
So I can knock it out fast.
And then, I will read comic books.
The folks at Ace help you find what you need so you can get in, get help, and get on with your life. Right now, get a canopy chair for just $19.99 at Ace, the helpful place.
May I help you?
Hi, I need to start saving on car insurance.
Money a bit tight?
Yeah, I've had to cut back, sell some stuff.
Like his watch.
We can help you save because we instantly compare your Progressive Direct rate with rates from other top companies. Watch this. Nice savings.
This means I can buy my watch back.
Oh, this watch?
Yeah.
Not for sale.
That's cold.
Making sure you get a great deal. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
We love getting our Outback dirty because it seems like the dirtier it gets, the more it shines.
The Subaru Outback, Motor Trend's 2010 Sport Utility of the Year.
Saturday, the two surprise teams of the playoffs, now one step away from the Stanley Cup Final. Will the Canadiens continue their amazing run, or is Philly destined for Cup glory? Then Sunday, the Western Conference Final blows into the Windy City. Will San Jose take down Kane and Taves, or will Chicago's young guns down the Sharks? The Stanley Cup Playoffs, Saturday and Sunday on NBC.
Dustin Byfuglien, and he is getting used to this pose.
Sorry to hear that.
Right there. The hero again for the Chicago Blackhawks, who, you know, I hesitate to say that that they're taking a stranglehold in this series after what we saw earlier in the playoffs. We take nothing for granted, but it is 3-0, and they're looking pretty good right now as Chicago leads San Jose. So let's take another look at the game winner.
The game winner, Dustin Byfuglien, again comes through for them. He disappears for a while and then just comes right down the slot, and nobody's watching him. But watch David Bolin again behind the net. There is number 36. It's a good play around, and look at Byfuglien. He just comes right down the driveway. Nobody had him. Nobody saw him. The goaltender, Nabokov, was still looking over his shoulder. He had no idea where the puck was, and Byfuglien comes through in a big way for them. But it's David Bolin that I want to talk about for a second. We have talked about the matchup with him and Thornton all the way along in this series, and he's done a fantastic job. 3 penalties in tonight's game, though, and he was in the box on that 5-on-3, so he was in the doghouse a little bit, but he also had a goal right after he came out of the penalty box another time. 1 goal and 1 assist, 3 penalty minutes, and an assist on the winning goal there in overtime for David Bolin, coming through huge again.
Yeah, a strong performance from Bolin. Jonathan Taves very good again, but without the saves of Antti Niemi, especially in overtime, San Jose had a couple of opportunities there, and Niemi stoned him. He played very well throughout the game. San Jose threw everything at him. He ended up with 44 saves in the game. He had 5 in overtime, and I'll tell you what, Patrick Marleau, the best guy on the ice for the San Jose Sharks, had a couple of those A-quality opportunities late in this game, but Niemi found a way to find those loose pucks, and included that one on Devin Setaguchi on the rebound opportunity. So a great job in goal for the Chicago Blackhawks from Niemi.
It was a phenomenal hockey game. It was, and both goalies were great. Nabokov, 34 saves, 9 in overtime. He did everything he could do. All the big boys played well. I thought Thornton played well, Boyle played well, but at the end of the day, they just didn't have enough to get it done. So they got a big mountain to climb here. So who knows? They face adversity, and like you said, Bill, who knows because of the storylines of this playoffs, but it's not looking good for them.
Bottom line is that Chicago is now 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Finals, led by their captain, Jonathan Taves, who is with Carissa Thompson.
Thank you, Bill. Well, playoff hockey is one thing. Overtime, playoff hockey is a completely different thing. Describe the emotional and physical mindset right now.
Well, it was tough giving up that goal late. You know, we thought when we got the second one that was going to be it, and we're going to find a way to protect it. So it was disappointing to give up that second goal against there and go into overtime. But coming into the locker room, we knew we had to regroup and just find a way to stay with it, and just told each other that someone was going to be the hero, and it happened to be Buff again. So it doesn't matter to us. We're happy to get that win.
I know you want to focus on the team and obviously the win, but tonight you broke Stan Mikita's record for consecutive games with a point. Has to be pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's something I'd probably enjoy a little bit more during the regular season, but you know, this is a huge win for us tonight to go up 3-0. It's a huge difference between that and 2-1. You know, we know that we still can't be comfortable, but it's nice to produce and you know, chip in any way I can in a game like that.
I was just going to say, I mean, obviously we saw it with Boston that even being up 3 games is not safe, right? So what becomes the most important thing?
Just treating every single game like a Game 7, like we did tonight. So they have a lot of pride, and that's a good team. And it's you know, been a tough 3 games. We've really worked hard to get to this point, so we're not going to waste the opportunity.
And you proved to your fans you can win at home. It was a very important game. Thanks for the time, Jonathan. Congratulations. Bill?
All right, Carissa, thank you. If you're fans of the San Jose Sharks, you might want to turn away. This is a look at teams that earned 100 or more points in the regular season and did not make the finals in 4 consecutive seasons. The Islanders, the only team to do it. The Sharks could be the second such team. Of course, the Islanders went on to immediately win 4 Stanley Cups in a row, so apparently they learned their lesson. All right, we are out of time, but a reminder for you San Jose fans in the Bay Area, you can switch over to Comcast Sportsnet California Plus or csncalifornia.com for more Sharks postgame coverage. And in Chicago, well, tune in to Comcast Sportsnet Chicago or csnchicago.com for more on the victorious Blackhawks tonight. The next time you see us will be Monday night. We've got coverage beginning at 6:30 Eastern Time for Game 5 between the Canadiens and Flyers from Philadelphia. The Eastern Conference Finals continue here on Versus. For exclusive NHL features, be sure to check out Versus Video on Demand. For Keith Jones, Brian Engblom, Darren McCarty, and our entire crew, I'm Bill Patrick. We'll see you again Monday night for Game 5 from Philadelphia.
Hut pizzas are just $10 each, so we could get all the kids at our son's sleepover their favorite.
Not sure why it's called a sleepover.
Yeah.
Any pizza at Pizza Hut is just $10. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings, only $10. Only at your Pizza Hut.
So what do you think?
We need his experience.
Yeah, but he has more energy.
Now you can get the best of both. Try Touch of Gray. Combs away a little gray without getting rid of it all.
I've got big plans for you.
Touch of Gray.
There's no way to avoid a ticket if you don't use your seatbelt.